live right now.
We're going live right now. We are literally live right now. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Tabletop Notch. We're going to be starting chapter 9.
I can't believe it.
I know. When we look back at the first stream, it's very dark. The light was much better. It was very moody.
Not like as a mood, just as an appearance.
Yeah, it's like physically very dark. Not like it depressed me. It was very dark. It was
very
really
morose
stream.
stream.
It's like all we're trying to make it really intense.
All those
And she goes downstairs.
Benji. Yeah. Benji, now just a phrase, no longer...
Right.
No longer a character.
He's just an entity now.
Does anybody have anything to shout out say before we sort of dive in?
Happy Bastille Day.
Happy Bastille Day.
Happy Robert
Bastille Day.
Happy birthday, Comrade Tortel, or Jay, if you're watching.
Hey!
Oh, yay! Happy birthday!
My sister's birthday is on Thursday.
Great.
Does she have any reason to be watching? If not, go to hell.
They do tune in sometimes.
Oh, good.
That's
we know
good.
that.
Yeah, oh, that's
Don't
right.
go
We do know that.
Come back from home.
Hopefully the sound issues will be solved. I believe they are. It's gonna be nice, clean. Great. So we'll dive into the recap. If anybody has anything else to say, we'll just go.
No.
All right, let's do it. This is the music of Erland and Safira running around the Mollefaire Estate.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think it should be terrifying.
It was very common.
In Chapter 8, falling into place. Beezaura, Safira, and Erland stewed in the aftermath of their fight as Armand Valliard entered to address them. What followed was a lengthy discussion that gave us a number of new leads to follow, assuming that we could take the crafty tiefling at his word. First and foremost, we learned that Jillian had been kidnapped by a barbarian tribe that makes her home in the Shaki Mountains, a few days north of Urnchupa. This was peculiar for two reasons. One, the barbarian society is a solitary one, so they rarely travel so far from home. And two, there were rumors of a shaman from this tribe having secret meetings with Guide Lamar, one of the ringleaders of the Gentle Void. Armand was skeptical that Jillian would remain alive for much longer, but if we had any chance of retrieving her, we would have to either track down the carriage that picked her up, or sneak into the barbarian camp. Beezaura took the conversation in a different direction, pressing for information about the Light Whistle Estate Club. Armand confirmed the leads that Beezaura had already acquired and added a new name to the list, the healer, Michael Ainsley from Urnchupa. It became clear that Armand would not be assisting us directly in any kind of rescue mission, though he filled us in on quite a bit of Jillian's backstory that could prove useful in planning our next move. How she acquired her title during the war, her first encounter with the harvesting yards, and the existence of a wish list that contained the names that she believed that she could trust other than those that she hired. Despite the wealth of information that he confided in us, Safira couldn't shake the feeling that Armand wasn't the type to do anything for free, and we concluded our discourse unsure of how to proceed. Back in the wine cellar, Orba and Graven's deliberation was interrupted by two members of the staff, who entered in a state of hysteria upon discovering the slain gnolls. It was not easy to rein them in, but we managed to lay out a plan that all the parties agreed to. We would fetch the captain of the guard and paint Graven as a brave protector, having dispatched the vicious creatures while on a routine errand to bring up barrels of wine. The captain was easy enough to find, but his suspicions were difficult to temper, and Graven was forced to drop his mute act and mention the involvement of Winston Muldoon. Upon hearing the name, the captain of the guard's tone changed considerably. He sent for Mr. Mollefaire, and as we waited, the captain recalled the last time he crossed paths with Winston. Years earlier, Mr. Mollefaire had hired him to install an illegal teleportation circle, which was later used for a robbery at the estate. Mr. Mollefaire ordered the captain to kill Winston, but he took pity and spared the old man's life. Our discussion was suspended when a guard returned with the news that something was going on upstairs, and we made haste to see what was happening. At the front steps, Polnick had arrived and was arguing with Mr. Mollefaire, desiring access to the estate as he believed there were dangerous individuals present at the tasting. Mr. Mollefaire denied him entry, but agreed to allow Polnick to set up a perimeter around the estate. And knowing that it was us he was looking for, Safira and Erland snuck upstairs and out the window. Not finding the opportune moment to make a getaway, they jumped back in on the first floor to a private meeting room where Beezaura had just finished discussing business with Iris Isaiah. With a knock at the door, our minds raced as we asked ourselves, why did Polnick believe us to be a threat? How would Mr. Mollefaire react to the news of Winston Muldoon's return? And whose odds were better of making it through the night, ours or Jillian's? We find out now on Chapter 9 of The Peak Beneath the Veil. We start with Orba and Graven.
I was like, where are we gonna start?
Okay.
Standing in the quiet din of the kitchens, a few essential members of the staff hard at work sort of attempting to keep things running as much of the workforce had gathered outside to see the sort of commotion that was going on. Staying at the back, but interested in what was going on, sort of continuing their preparations. And after a few moments, you hear the sound of footsteps kind of approaching, and you see 5 of the Mollefaire guards dressed in the similar apparel that you've seen come through the entrance to the kitchen, sort of halberds and swords in hand, a few of them. There! And the guards start to move towards Graven. And then he moves past you to the cellar staircase, and one of the guards speaks to one of the kitchen hands that's standing nearby. Nobody goes in or out of the cellar until the captain says so. Is that understood? And he responds back to him. What if we need more wine? We're already running low as it is. Serve what you have. Nobody goes downstairs. No exceptions. And the guards begin to make their way down the staircase. And one of the guards lingers behind a little bit. A bigger man. Sort of turns slowly and looks at Graven. And looks at Orba.
Polnick's outside. Looking for a Goliath. And a young Tiefling. Says they're a danger. Mr. Mollefaire says nobody leaves the estate without his say-so. I know Polnick. He's an asshole. But he's smart. If he says you're a danger, I believe him. What say you to that?
What does he want with us?
Didn't say. Just said, you mean Mr. Mollefaire harm. And as a guard of the estate, it's my duty to protect him. So I'm at a bit of a crossroads here.
I believe you've never met this Polnick. Is that true? No, we were together. Forgive me. We have met this man once before.
So it seems.
And gave him no reason to fear us or find us in any way dangerous.
So why is he here? You met him. He's smart, no?
Seemed stern. His intelligence did not shine through in our meeting, no.
I might swing back through here when I'm done downstairs. Maybe we have a longer chat, yeah? Talk a little bit.
We have been busy today in the kitchens, but I see no reason why we wouldn't.
You're awfully quiet. What's wrong with her?
She deals better with food than with people.
Make a persuasion check.
It's my turn to be mute.
Yeah, seriously, I didn't want to go that far.
No, let's never do that again.
4.
Guard takes a step towards Orba.
Something suspicious about you. Small enough to sneak around in an estate like this.
Sir, if you truly believe we pose some threat to you, then say so. But we've done nothing.
He
You
reaches
or Mollefaire.
You think I should say so?
Orba just reaches out to Graven and just tugs at his shirt a little, just to signify to stand down a little.
And there's sort of a moment here in the kitchen as he stands. And some of the kitchen staff, like while working on stuff, is sort of checking in on what's going on.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give any offense. We've been here laboring all day. It's been a long day and we're tired. And we don't know why anybody would be after us for any reason. Forgive me.
And you look the guard in the eyes, and he looks back at you. And his eyes start to cloud a little bit. And he opens his mouth as if to say something back to you, but all you hear is like a saliva clicking in his mouth. And you smell a sort of sweet scent wafting through the kitchen that is fairly strong, overpowering the smells of the kitchen, which have a lot of smells, things cooking, roasting. And as quickly as it comes, it dissipates, the sweet smell. And a voice is heard.
Dario, I believe it's your shift on the second floor. Why don't you take a little walk upstairs?
And he sort of stands up, and he puts his sword all the way back.
Yeah. I think I'll do that.
And he turns, and he starts to slowly walk out of the kitchen, and his sort of large body moving reveals a tiefling man behind him.
I don't believe we've been formally introduced. My name is Armand Valliard. Would you think me of unsound mind if I told you that a halfling sent me?
No. Sounds about right.
Why don't you pick up one of those trays? Follow me. There's a private meeting going on that requested some provisions, and try to draw as little attention as possible. The guests are a little skittish at the moment.
Is Beezaura all right? Is she safe?
Why don't we go find out?
Orba
Let's
just
go, yeah.
wanders to the nearest tray and just...
There's a couple platters of appetizers.
What has cheese on it?
There is some cheese and crackers on one of them.
I take that one.
There's some sort of sliced meats on some of them.
Yeah, meats is great.
And he begins to sort of lead you out sort of into the main floor area where the party is sort of slowly starting to get back into the groove. People seem a little wary of what's happening. There's a little quiet chatter, whereas it was a little more boisterous before, but people are slowly making their way back from the main entrance hall back into the sort of combined area. And Armand kind of leads you along sort of close to the wall, sort of as much out of the center of attention as possible. Make a stealth check for him. Both of you make a
Oh,
stealth check.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. Natural 20.
Oh,
16.
oh!
Wow, so stealthy.
Concentrate, you can do anything.
So Armand leads you along, and there's a few pillars and some of the tables and chairs, and you sort of carefully holding and making your way through. You do a good job sort of concealing your appearance as you're walking through. I mean, if anyone was looking very closely, they'd notice you, but they're not. They, as sort of a peripheral vision, no one's seeing you as you're traveling by. And he moves you around, and if you take a look at the estate map, which I need
Woo woo.
this is the kitchens area, and this is the private room that they are in, but you can't go directly that way. So you have to go back out onto the main area, which is this green area here. So you have to go out, and he's leading you like around.
Yeah.
So that's sort of...
So, sorry, where's the front entrance?
This is the front entrance.
Okay, great.
And these three rooms were combined, you can see the stage there, into the sort of main reception area. And you guys jumped out the window this way, up the stairs, and went around the edge, and you jumped back in here where the private rooms are.
Got it.
long walk for nothing.
Well,
So Armand leads you sort of carefully along the walls. And as you're getting closer to the private meeting rooms, there are some guards still stationed there at the private meeting rooms because they have to regulate who comes in and out of the rooms. And a guard sort of walks quickly up to one of the guards that's close to the meeting rooms, and he sort of lightly grabs him on the arm. Captain Ravazzi asked for extra hands on the second floor. They found something hanging out a window. Heavy footprints leading away from the estate out towards the vineyards. Let's go look.
We hear that.
You guys hear that? Yeah. As he sort of makes his way by, Armand's leading you.
Orba looks directly at Graven and just rolls her eyes because she knows exactly who did that.
Well, it appears someone has fled into the darkness. A logical conclusion, given the evidence at hand. I wish them luck. Combing the vineyards at this time of night will be long and tedious. And he continues to sort of lead you along. Do you follow?
Yeah.
You guys continue to make your way. And as you guys are walking through, we're going to move over to the private meeting room. So as you guys, Erland and Safira, pressed against the wall, staying out of sight, Beezaura opens the door. And you see in the background a bit of life returning to the party, as Orba and Graven were able to see. And a tiefling man stands before you, but not one that you recognize. Considerably shorter than Armand, he has sort of a scrawny build and thin fingers that draw attention to his rough hands and chipped nails.
My apologies. I have the room reserved after you.
I see. I was just thinking for a moment after my meeting. Do you mind giving me just 5 more minutes?
No, I think I'm gonna go in.
And he starts to move in towards the room.
I'm sorry.
Do you physically stop him?
I just stand in front of him.
Do you physically stop him from entering? He's moving in.
Yes.
Make an athletics check.
I am quite athletic. That is a 19.
19.
so just for where are we?
So you guys have you're up against the wall that the door is on, so he can't see you.
So we're like behind. So if the door were to, if he were to step in or the door were to close, we're just like standing there, right?
If he was to come all the way in, yeah. So what I'm going to say is you're able to block him from entering. He sort of makes a move, and you sort of firmly but not aggressively stop him. He's sort of a little surprised by your strength and sudden strength. Make stealth checks with advantage because she was able to stop him.
Nice.
So we both make stealth.
Both of you make stealth checks with advantage.
18 for me.
Of course.
12. Okay, so because she was able to sort of stop him from entering, the two of you sensing someone coming in, and you recognize Armand's voice, so you can tell that this is not Armand, even though you've seen him. You guys sort of dart behind sort of a tall-backed chair or one of the sort of console tables to sort of make a better concealed, attempt to stay out of sight.
I've forgotten myself. And I forgot to say the magic words. Let me think a moment. Make sure I've got this correct. Light whistle, estate club, chess pieces. Now I'm gonna go in. Would you care to join me, Zara?
And make a perception check before you answer that. To see if you sense Erland, if you're finding a safe spot behind you. 8. So you're able to sort of hear. You don't have a great. You get a sense that they made you don't know how well they're concealed, but you can tell behind you that they made an attempt to conceal themselves. So if you were to let them in, hopefully they'd be concealed.
Trust them.
Yeah, if you trust them.
At this point. I understand. Please. My mistake.
And he enters, and he sort of takes a seat in one of the chairs.
Would you?
Of course. Your name, sir?
That's not important.
It's not.
No. Here's what's important. When you left for the north some months ago, you traveled alone.
When your deception was exposed, you fled. And you fled alone. And somewhere around Tuk-2, you disappeared. And then when you resurface, it's at the southern checkpoint for the Fleet of the Broken Crown. No longer alone. So I have a question for you. What do you know about the Tiefling that you travel with? Orba.
How do you know so much about my travels, sir?
I'm well connected. We'll start with that. What do you make of her? Is she stupid? Is she smart? Is she brave? Is she cowardly? Is she
Why do you want to
complacent?
know?
My employer is interested in her.
Your employer would be?
Guy Lamar.
Interesting.
We've tried to put people near her, but she's wary of strangers. And yet, she falls into unexpected company with you. Fortunate in more ways than one.
And what does your boss want with her?
Given how this conversation has gone so far, does that seem like a question I'm likely to answer?
No, it honestly does not.
No. I'd like to give you something. We want you to follow her. We want you to watch. And we want you to listen. This is a list of things that we'd like you to find out about Orba.
And he takes this sort of out of his pocket, this wrinkled thing, and he puts it on his knee, and he kind of flattens it out.
Underneath the line is the price that we're willing to pay for that knowledge. Commit these to memory, and then destroy them. And look at me. Do not draw her suspicion. Don't be obvious and acquire all at once. She spooks easily, and you must be tactful. Can you do that?
For the chess pieces.
Take a look. And he hands it to you.
I really want to know
It's
if
quite the
you
pay.
It is.
Guy Lamar, he knows you're talking to me.
He does.
And what does he make of that?
He sent me. If at any point you cease to be a part of the girl's company, you cease to be useful to us, I'll come find you when I think you've had ample time.
Okay. I agree.
Excellent.
Ample time. What do you consider that to be?
A couple of weeks, perhaps.
And you'll know where to find me.
I think so.
How do you keep such good track of me?
Again,
And he takes something out of his sort of robe pocket, sort of a potion bottle.
not a question I'm going to answer.
And he takes a swig,
I'll find you.
and he starts to flicker a little and fade, and sort of the transparency through his arms and his body, and suddenly he's gone, invisible. And for a moment, there's silence, and then you hear the door to the meeting room open and closes. And the three of you are here.
At any point in time in that, could I, from where I was hiding without revealing myself, could I see what was on the list?
She's sitting in like a high-backed chair.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah,
yes, you guys could hear this. The room's small, but you would not have seen the note. Just the three of you in the room.
What is going on in this fucking house?
I don't like it here.
It's too much magic.
So,
Erland's gonna first, the room's small, right? Just gonna start waving my arms around the whole room,
Yeah.
just to make sure.
Make an acrobatics check, sort of.
You know what I'm getting, right? I want to make sure that he didn't just like fake us out with the door.
Just do some cartwheels.
Safira's like she's been holding her breath
17.
the whole time.
17. I mean, you take a moment, and the room's not big, and you sort of raise your hands high and low, sort of anywhere where he might be, and you don't feel anything.
What does that say?
I don't know if I should show you, Erland.
I'm just gonna put my hand out.
I don't know if I should show you either. It's probably best that I'm the only one that knows.
Would you like help with your chess pieces?
I don't.
I'm gonna walk up to the door and just listen at the door.
You think you can get all
At the door of the room?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, make a perception check.
10.
10. I mean, are you listening for something in particular? You can hear the quiet noise of the party sort of resuming. The
I'm
band
trying
sort
to
of
see
resume
if there's
playing. You can
anyone
faintly.
near the door, anyone who's thinking about opening, or...
You don't hear footsteps or anything at the moment, and it doesn't. I mean, if someone's standing there, they're standing still. You can't hear anything
Okay.
at the door.
You think you can collect all the chess pieces by yourself?
It's not so much the pieces, it's just the answers to those questions.
Yes, I'm saying, I'm not going to help you if you don't show me what's on that page, and I'm sure Orba would be very interested to know that you're watching her. So how about you show me the piece of paper?
Really, Erland?
Really?
You would tell her?
Unless you show me the page, yes.
How do I know even if I do show you the page, you're not going to tell her either?
I think you've known me long enough to know that I'm at least remotely trustworthy.
Do I?
Have I lied to you yet?
I don't know.
Well, here's the gamble you'll have to make. If you don't show me the page, I will definitely tell Orba. If you do, I'm telling you I will not. So you might just have to take your chances.
Why do you care what's on the page?
It seems extremely important to our group and our survival.
Are you still at the door, Safira?
Yeah.
You're starting to hear some footsteps.
Quiet.
Halfling.
Stop it. Get behind something now.
I'm gonna go back to
I'm
the
gonna go
thing
back
that I was
to...
hiding behind.
Yeah, me too.
Stealth checks with advantage. No one's in the room yet, so you have a second to hide.
15.
23.
Great. I mean, you guys do a good job. You go back to the spots. You even sort of angle it towards the door, so it's really sort of full coverage from anyone who opened the door would not know anyone was in there until they really came into the room.
I go and answer the door.
You open the door. Armand is standing there. Graven. And Orba.
Hello, all.
I believe you ordered some provisions?
Indeed.
And he sort of holds the door for Graven and Orba to enter the room.
I'm already eating half of the meat that's on the plate.
Yeah, Orba's just sucking down
Are you guys
crackers.
entering the room?
Yeah,
Great.
man.
You guys
I
go
follow
in.
Graven.
And Armand stands at the door for a moment. Me inside or outside the door?
May we just have a few moments at least?
Of course.
Stay close.
I will. You guys are together for the first time.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Where are the... Oh, Jesus!
I forgot you couldn't see them.
Halfling! I will rip you in half again.
I'm gonna feel around again. I just want to feel just to make sure the door opens, so I'm
Sure, yeah, make another acrobatics check.
Orba
You're-
just
you're
looks
waiting
at him
on-
like,
acrobatics check.
Yeah, just for the...
17.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm
you quickly
I'm
sort of...
standing... I want to stand with my hand like kind of on the door so I can feel if it moves or
Sure,
anything.
yeah, you can say that.
What are you doing?
I was stabbed by an invisible man earlier. I saw an invisible man earlier today. I'm just checking.
In this room?
Earlier today, in this room, yes. I'm just checking. Everything's
We
fine.
had a visitor.
Continue being mad at me, yes.
So,
Where have you been? We almost died in the basement, Orba and I. We were attacked by 4 gnolls.
We almost died outside and in the basement as well.
oh, so you were the ones who did the thing at the window, weren't you?
Yeah, we heard about
Yeah,
that.
I called that.
That was not me. For the record.
Friends. Do you remember Winston?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
never met him.
Yes, you
I
did.
have met him. Oh, I met him.
The old man with the chest, not the chest you
You're
set on
thinking,
fire.
you're thinking of Polnick, who you have not.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's the old man with the chest, not the one you set on fire. He was in the basement when we went down for supplies. He changed men into gnolls to attack us, took a shrinking potion and ran out. And Winston could be in this building still.
And was that Armand's voice that led you into this room?
Oh, you didn't see him?
They were behind furniture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yes, we met the
Armand.
Tiefling.
Have you met him?
Yes, we've been introduced. He nearly killed us with a suit of armor, and then proved to be
Quite
very
useful.
helpful.
Quite useful. He was testing us.
He was wearing armor.
A magical suit of armor
No.
attacked us.
He sent us into a room with a magical suit of armor that nearly tried to kill us, and then
As a test.
He
to see who he
had
was dealing
he
with.
had a great
Yes.
deal about Gillian. It seems Gillian has been taken prisoner by a tribe of barbarians, and we have 1.5 to 3 days before the barbarians reach the Shaki Mountains.
he claims he's a friend, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm right, but I believe him.
I do as well.
You're from Antusu. You know where the Shaki Mountains are.
Yeah,
But Gillian is
that's not good.
no.
No, none of this
He's
is
not
good.
sure if she's still alive.
We're wanted by Polnick. Everyone, save for you, is wanted.
Why does Poland? What does he want with us? I was supposed to meet him tomorrow night.
We all were.
Presuming that it's because we left when we said explicitly that we would not.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It seems that Armand might be our only chance to get out of this estate.
Oh,
The estate is surrounded.
Orba?
Polnick has set his guards going around the perimeter.
They all have their eyes on you.
Yes,
Does would Armand know a way to get out of here without being seen?
Should we bring him in?
I get the feeling that Armand knows everything.
Orba and I cannot stand another fight. We've
Nor
used
can
up
we.
all of our
I think.
energies.
I'll get him.
Let's all hide again, and then you open the door and see if Armand's still there.
Okay.
Why, so we can jump out and go boo?
No,
Show
just so
him
that if
ropes.
someone else is standing outside the door, they're not just going to see
Didn't
us.
see him.
Right, and I'm gonna kind of like shuffle behind.
Go back to my console table.
Can I have the biggest hiding space, please?
You're like under a table.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys take some time to hide. Right now, no one's at the door, so
Yeah.
you can take the time, so you don't have to roll for it. So you conceal yourselves. I mean, you can like be up against the wall, so
Yeah.
no one can see you from the door.
Can
There's nothing really big enough for you to hide behind.
Can Orba just like curl up in a corner with her plate of cheese?
Sure.
Just
In like the far corner of the room.
yeah, she's just gonna.
Who's opening the door?
I am.
Okay.
You're good.
Just crack the door and see if Armand's there.
And you crack it open just a little bit. And Armand's standing about 15 feet away, sort of with his arms crossed. And he looks.
Would you like to come in and join us?
He sort of takes a couple looks around to make sure nobody's dressing him directly. He slowly makes his way to you. Opens the door, closes it behind. Well, well, well. What can I do for you?
You've been very helpful so far. We owe you much already, but
I am glad to hear it.
is there any way you can get us out of here and back to
Orange Chupa.
Oranchupa without being noticed?
Perhaps. The information was free, but this is going to cost you. If you find Jillian, or if you don't, but manage to survive, I want you to come perform a task for me in Tutu.
What kind of a task?
I wasn't as clear as I should have been. Not all of you. I want you to come
What
perform a
kind
task.
of a task?
I'm not sure I've made up my mind yet. But it's you because you seem to trust me the least, and yet you have the most reason to trust me. You just don't know it yet.
You get them out safely. Safely.
I can cast a spell to disguise your appearance.
choose what you'd like to look like, and you can walk out the front door. If you dress yourselves as guests, you are likely to be questioned by Polnick's men. If you dress yourselves as guards, you'd best avoid the guards on duty, or else they might know that you're not here for Mr. Mollefaire. Pick your poison.
You're going to get us all out on the condition we go rescue Jillian?
If you do or don't,
On the condition I perform a task.
she comes to work for me. And if you die, well, just another gamble I shouldn't have taken, I suppose.
So if we go rescue Jillian, she stays with us?
Yes. When you're done, she comes to me.
And what about me?
What about?
I have other things I need to pursue as well.
Do you not wish to leave the estate with them? I can't guarantee how long you're going to have to be here if Polnick's men maintain the perimeter. You could be here for quite a while if you don't leave with them.
I do need to go. I have a task to perform, and hopefully within the next 24 hours.
Very well.
Do I need to go rescue Jillian?
I suppose not. Something for you all to discuss. Not my affair.
Before I agree, do you know if Mr. Ainsley has shown up yet?
Mr. Ainsley does not attend the Mollefaire Estate. He should still be in Erland as far as I know.
Okay.
Are you satisfied, Beezaura?
That's what I needed to know.
Can
I
we
need
attempt
to.
to leave now?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, guests or guards?
Guest.
What about liverymen, people who may, drivers or something
They
like
will
that?
almost certainly not be allowed out of the estate at this point. Anyone without any degree of influence is likely to be questioned extensively by Polnick's men.
Right.
How long will these potions last?
It would last up to 8 hours. However, I was going to suggest that you use my carriage out front to return to Erland. I have a driver stationed there. But there is an orb in the carriage, an anti-magic orb. To protect myself, you see. So when you get close to the carriage, the disguises will disappear.
Can we...
Sorry. If I was a guest, and I'm not being searched for, can't I leave?
I assume they would ask you a few questions, but presumably they might let you leave.
So I'll take your carriage and walk up myself.
You may.
Thank you.
Orba slams down her tray, gets up and stomps over to Graven and whispers in his ear.
Trey makes a kind of four.
What about the captain of the guard? If we run from him, it's only going to make things look worse.
Do you think that he would help us?
Get off of the estate?
Yes.
I don't know.
Do you know the captain of the guard here?
The former captain of the guard, or the new one?
How long has the new one been the captain of the guard?
Must be 20 minutes now.
The old one.
I know him. Eleuterio is his name, I believe.
Where is he? Why isn't he the captain anymore?
I couldn't say. I only overheard the men saying that Captain Ravazzi summoned them upstairs as we walked to this very room. Perhaps you heard the same.
Rivari or
Ravazzi.
Ravazzi.
Ravazzi's the new one.
You heard that name before.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes,
why I wrote
he's the
down
new.
Rivari.
He was the second in command, and now he's being told as the captain.
He may already be in too much trouble to help us.
But not even help. We already have Polnick thinking that we're responsible for things. What about Mollefaire? At least the captain was going to clear us with Mollefaire.
But if he's already been demoted, there's something wrong. I think our best chance is to get out of here. But whether we want to be interviewed or not, or just not seen, my instinct says I would want to be dressed as a guard. I don't want to talk to anybody anymore.
The guards have been ordered to be allowed through Polnick's men. Presumably you would be gone without questioning. However, like I said, don't run into any of the actual guards.
No. Should we split up and do perhaps one set of guards and one set of guests?
If we do split up, we should stay near each other so that we don't get separated.
In sight, yes, but...
How far can we take your carriage? Can we take your carriage as far as the Shaki Mountains?
No. The driver is mine. He'll take you back to Urinchuba if you wish.
What's your driver's name?
The driver's name? Maltok. He wears a blue sash, and the carriage has expensive spiral engravings and wheels. A present from Santak.
Will he take me back to the Rose District?
He'll take you back to the gates of Urinchuba. You can walk from there.
Are you too comfortable posing as guests? Did you spend enough time in the party to be able to answer simple questions?
I believe I can still... only you know my name as Jamie Fultash. I believe I can still be Jamie Fultash, but in a human, perhaps.
Safira?
What kind of questions might we be asked? Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure.
I don't have answers to questions.
Suppose it depends on if you're questioned by Polnick himself or
his men.
another guard.
I can go as a guest.
Would our voices change if...
They would not.
No.
We can change them.
I think a guest is safest for me because I have an invitation.
True.
I don't have an invitation.
Guard it is, then.
3 guards and 1 guest.
I don't know if people are going to buy that I'm a guard with how I sound.
We won't have to speak to anyone. We'll be searching.
Beezaura, you have an invitation.
Yes.
Would you mind parting with it?
Has my name on it.
Yes, well,
And she's not wanted, so...
true.
I believe someone has the room reserved soon. What do you say?
Would it be... are the guards moving in pairs or groups?
It's fairly chaotic out there right now. Some guards being sent upstairs, some being sent to the perimeter, some being sent into the nearby vineyards, so I heard.
I think we should group together. If anyone asks, we're checking the far perimeters.
These are Mollefaire guards you'd be changing them into? Or
That's what he
Polnick's
was
guards?
suggesting, yes. You could say Polnick guards, but that's what he was implying.
Mollefaire guards?
Mollefaire guards.
Well, I don't want to leave your side, so I'll be a soldier.
Safira, would you want to be a soldier with us, or...?
I'm not sure what's wiser. I think I might be a bit better off as a guest.
What if they ask for an invitation?
Just act drunk and
Safira,
hang off
you
of
do
them.
have...
Ooh!
You do have experience as a soldier.
Yes, I do. Fine. Guard it is then.
3 guards and a guest.
Yes.
And you as yourself.
Seems that way.
And we arrived together, so...
So
Really?
we may leave together.
Very well. You will look different
Yeah, I was gonna say.
than how you were.
Oh, there you are.
It doesn't...
Doesn't.
We should leave separately.
Yes.
I suppose all humans, if they're looking for half-elves, tieflings, and Goliaths.
Yes, human, for me.
Very well. Just a moment. And he sort of picks his hands up, he sort of rubs them down on his cloak, and he mutters a few sort of... and you feel sort of flickering, sort of changing, and you guys do you want to say sort of what you want to look like as a human? You said human. We have 3 guards and a guest. Are you changing your appearance in any specific way? Do you want to be taller, shorter, fatter, skinnier? Hair.
Just as tall, but maybe scrawny.
Sure.
No, not as tall. Half a foot tall, but he's shorter.
Sure, you get a little shorter and sort of a thinner man. Know that you're a bigger guy, and it's just an illusion. So if someone was to reach out and try to touch you, they would seem to hit.
That's why I wanted close, but not like.
Yes, sure, yeah. Sort of a little trimmer and smaller, and sort of the human features kind of wash over your Goliath face.
Oh, so if we change our appearance significantly, it's an illusion and it can...
Yes,
Okay.
so if you made yourself significantly taller and someone like touched the top of your head, it would just go through it, just as if it was...
Are there humans, are humans also on the Kira mainland?
Yeah.
Great. So I will be a human who is exactly my my height, size.
Do you want to be wearing the same outfit you were wearing? That blue sort of...
Oh, can that change?
Yes, you can change your outfit
Great,
as well.
great. Ooh, then different still Kira mainland, but different like different colors. Let's go like yellow, slightly different sort of trimming and size.
Sort of, you see the flickering as it kind of appears. You get the sort of the elven features recede and the human features
About my age as well.
Yeah. Same age. Safira.
I'd like to be sort of a little bit like stronger,
Sure,
like a
we'll
little
stop
bulky.
here. Yeah.
And I
Would you like some hair?
Yeah, I'd like some hair. Can I have like some short hair that's kind of like tied back?
Sure, and
under
sort of
my
a
helmet?
tight bun in the back, kind of?
Yeah, like kind of
sure.
a tight bun. And obviously just whatever the
Sure, yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Armand knows what the guard uniforms look like, so the chainmail with the over tabard.
Yeah.
Orba's familiar with this process, so she like tucks her tail up like into a cape or something, just so it's not like
Yeah, I mean, you have
the
good
tail.
control of your tail, so you can hold it like up against your body.
Yeah, just so it's like put away.
Yeah, so it doesn't hit anything.
Similar, just like light brown hair in a bun, like really plain face. No
Very
distinct.
forgettable.
Yes. Plain Jane.
Well, I want curly orange hair.
Do you actually want curly orange?
Stand
Don't
out.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys are describing what you want to look like, and Armand is and sort of the illusions flicker over you. It takes a moment as you guys stand there. Beezaura watches this sort of take place, and they all sort of take their new forms. It's very convincing from a distance. I mean, it looks...
How do we look?
The pot. Just
Lovely.
watch what you say.
Try not to say anything at all.
If you don't mind, I'm going to leave the room first. Wait a moment, and then you may go. Good luck, and hopefully I'll see you again.
And he opens the door and sort of doesn't open it wide open. He keeps it open just a crack. Closes it behind. You guys sort of have a moment here before you go out.
Okay. If we run into anybody immediately, we could say that the 3 of us were interviewing these 2. But otherwise, we should just move towards the exits.
No, we're not interviewing them. We don't want to draw any suspicion.
They might ask you what you've known.
Why would we be interviewing guests anyway that weren't tieflings or Goliaths or half-elves?
If we see each other getting into trouble out there, if one of the guards are getting into trouble, perhaps we can say we want an escort out to try and pull away, and if we're getting into trouble, perhaps you can intervene as fellow guards.
Take over.
As a fallback.
We can't escort you out. Mollefaire doesn't want anyone leaving the estate.
But you can assist in the questioning.
Sure.
As a fallback.
There were guards hanging out in the kitchens. What if we left through the kitchens?
Wouldn't that be suspicious? Shouldn't we?
No, the guards were all about the kitchens.
But shouldn't we as guests try and leave through the front door?
I'm going to leave through the front door and make it to Armand's carriage.
Yes.
Yeah, we're guards.
In which case we wouldn't be able to keep an eye on each other, but just...
Oh, well, okay. We can Stick together.
Are you heading to the carriage as well?
We're all heading to the carriage.
The plan is for you all to head
Go to the carriage.
The carriage is
out front.
out front.
It's like,
Let's just go all out the front.
I'll
Yes, just
start
the
out
quickest
first.
way. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Let's
two of you
trickle.
together.
Should the 3 guards perhaps leave first from this room? Would it not be suspicious?
Stand 3 abreast and look as if we're.
We need
have
to
look
hurry
as if
then, because there is
Yeah,
someone
we
else
need
that's
to
going
go.
to
Yeah.
want
What
to
if
go.
actually, what if the 3 guards just leave through the window? Outside.
No.
Then
You
you'll
already had suspicions out the window, Erland.
there's already so they're Mollefaire guards,
no,
right?
Polnick has
They're-
guards around the room.
But they're Mollefaire.
We are
guards,
They are dressed as
Are Mollefaire guards already? Were we to understand that when Armand was talking to us that the Mollefaire guards are the ones sweeping outside the estate, or
You're not. You wouldn't know that for sure.
They already have suspicions of people going in and out of the windows.
But the guards?
Why would
It
the guards use
doesn't
the window? They'll just
matter.
use a door.
If anyone sees us climbing out the window, it would be incredibly suspicious.
When it comes down to it, say as little as is humanly possible to ask
Obviously.
any questions.
Absolutely.
That's been going very well so far.
We need to make moves because there's
Let's
someone
go.
that's going
Yes,
to
I'm
come
right.
in
I'm
the
gonna
door.
open the door and just kind of walk out as if I have some like business about me.
Sure.
You know.
To the
much
carriage.
is
Stay
wrong
with
with
stay
you,
with
please?
me.
Okay. Together. The 3 people dressed as guards, performance checks as you sort of
Yep.
act your way through.
Yes.
So good. 20.
I think I have a
18.
18. Okay. You guys start to make your way through, and you sort of seem to have some business about you, and sometimes your background sort of coming into place. Stand up in sort of military, you know, sort of the general procession. You were the first one to go out, correct? Yeah. So she sort of leads the way, and the 2 of you follow behind. And right now, the party's kind of moving back into swing, and there's no guards in the immediate vicinity. You see a few of them kind of scamper along. It seems like they're headed back towards the staircase that you guys went up a little while ago, because you guys heard that they were headed up towards where the escape was made. So you guys are making your way through the floor. Are you guys following right behind them? What's your...
I'm gonna wait like not a long time, but just a second, like let the door close.
So as not to be looking like you're traveling with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. But together.
No. And then.
Okay, sure. Real quick. So we're on the second floor.
Here, let me...
We're like on the
You
second
guys are
floor.
not
We're on
on
the first floor.
We're on the first
We're on the
floor.
first
All
floor.
we have to do is make it to the front and out the door. Well,
Yeah.
That's all we have to do.
You have to go through this way and out that way. So you do have to walk through part of the main...
Yeah.
right. But the guards you just said we're going
Are
up
like
the
on the other
stairs.
And
side. Yeah,
where-
like headed this way.
Where is Mollefaire and where is the captain of the guard? Do we have any idea?
You have not seen them in some time.
So when they leave, I'm about 20 paces behind.
Sure. And you're after her?
Yeah, maybe
Sure.
10, 20, 15
Okay,
paces.
so making your way through.
Sorry, real quick. This
Yeah.
carriage it belongs to Armand.
Yeah, so he said so.
And there's like a bunch of carriages out there.
Yeah, presumably there's some waiting as if guests are waiting to leave. Some carriages they're not necessarily for some in particular. Like there's
But, like,
carriages
there
running
was
back and
ones
forth.
that go
Yeah,
back and
between or but he has one for him.
Oh yeah, because he described
Yes,
it.
he described he has a
Okay.
mustache.
And the
Armand.
dispel magic is as we're approaching the carriage, I believe he
He
said.
didn't tell you how
Yeah.
close it is.
Yeah, he said it. Okay.
Yeah, just that when you get close to it.
Can I kind of like in my guard thing just kind of do just like as if I'm checking just to make sure everyone's where they should be. I'm like trying to see if I can see Mollefaire or anyone who looks official. Just I want to get a sense of
Sure, make
if
an
they're
investigation
around.
check, yeah.
Natural 20.
Yes.
You look around, and the first floor is fairly sparse in terms of guards. And you
Okay.
look up, and around the second floor mezzanine, there's a number of guards sort of moving in like pairs of 2 or 3, moving very quickly. A few of them along the edge, and you see Mr. Mollefaire with 2 guards behind him, sort of quickly moving, and he's talking to them. You can't hear it. It's up on the second
Where is he?
floor.
Is he moving towards a staircase where he can go down?
No. It seems like he's moving in the direction of the room that you guys jumped out of.
Okay.
But that would be headed away from you.
Away from us, yeah.
In the opposite direction.
Okay, so kind of clocking that, I'm gonna just kind of look at them and just kind of give them a soldierly kind of.
Who are you looking at?
I'm looking
Oh,
at.
is that-
I'm
yeah,
trying to
I
make
see.
eye contact and just kind of trying to give them like a
Sure.
and then
Yep.
and then I'm just gonna walk towards where the front door is.
Great. You guys start to move. And the guests continue to travel a little bit behind. You see Iris out on the floor, and she kind of gives you a polite nod, holds up a glass of wine, and doesn't speak, but you see her a little ways away. You continue to walk.
Are we walking past any wine?
Yep, there's tables out. Yep.
I'd love to just grab a glass of wine.
Sure. Grab a glass of wine.
Take a sip, and I'm going to swish it around in my mouth a little bit, so my mouth smells a lot like wine, and then put the glass back down.
Great. Take one. You guys continue to move. Nobody stops you until now. You get sort of to kind of the front area where there still is a decent number of people here. Not everyone is kind of dispersed back into the main halls, but people are starting to move in that direction. And the guards sort of get there first. And a woman comes up to Safira, who's kind of leading the pack, a guest, not someone you recognize.
Excuse me, is there a danger? Should I head back to Uranchuba? Would that be safer?
Oh, not at all, Mum.
You think that the threat is, Polnick is exaggerating?
Oh, we have it all under control, Mum.
Great, make a deception check.
Oh my god.
I don't know what. Oh! 20!
Back to back.
Oh my god.
You're very.
Oh!
And she looks at you, and you sort of give her a stern look back, and she's sort of,
Oh, thank you. I feel so much safer. Thank you so much. I hear these things, but Polnick, you never know.
and she makes her way.
That kind of.
Oh, right.
Like.
And you can see her start to, another man starts to walk up towards you, but she kind of stops him and she's like, oh, it's fine, it's nothing. And the two of them walk back towards
Okay.
Orba nods.
Can I kind
Safira
of
then.
like look? Or how close am I to the door?
Very close.
Can I look kind of out the door and be like, oh, look, I see something over there. I better fucking check that out.
Sure. Yeah. You.
So I just kind of
Oh,
make
look.
like a little performance, just kind of being like, what is that? And just I'm just gonna
right.
walk towards.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. And make a perception check as you're moving towards the door.
15.
15. So as you're moving towards the door and you get to sort of the threshold of the door, you look out and you can see a couple of the men that are dressed in a different uniform, presumably Polnick's men, that are sort of, a couple of them are already questioning guests that are on their way out, just sort of having a quiet conversation with them as they leave. You don't see Polnick at the moment. He seems to be elsewhere. That's what you see. There's sort of two guards talking to two
And this
people.
is I you know, kind of discreetly, but kind of done a very thorough like looking for him.
Yeah, you are now out on the top step, and you're looking down. You don't see Polnick out here.
Okay.
In the front area.
And can I kind of do this thing with them again? To kind of, you know, just kind of acknowledge both of them.
And two of them, you guys walk.
And yeah, I just want to walk towards where the carriage is.
Sure, you guys started. You see like a line of carriages of sort of waiting for guests to leave. And
Are
as you start to
we,
move down the stairs,
like generally out of earshot?
Of what?
Of people.
Some of
there are
Polnick's
people.
men are questioning a couple of people. Those people are close to you. You're out of earshot of like the party, the main area of people.
Okay.
There's still a few people who would hear you speaking if you spoke.
Nope.
What was that? You want to say something?
Pass.
Great, so you guys start to make your way downstairs. We'll go back to Erland and Beezaura for a moment. Are you guys making your way towards the door?
In an indirect way. Like,
Sure.
I'm not like... I'm sort of wandering around.
Yeah, sure. Sort of taking your time, making sure you get to the front. And nobody kind of talks to you specifically or assesses you.
Do I see Samuel Precus around?
You make a investigation check.
19.
You do not, and you see the people that he was talking to when you first saw him, and they're kind of looking around. They're kind of peeking around, but you don't see Samuel or his wife. You don't see her either with the group that he was talking to.
And that's inside.
Yeah, you're still inside the estate. Yeah.
Was he that bad attitude writer guy?
Yeah.
He's the only person I talk about. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, bad attitude. Yeah, you do not see him.
I can't remember if I gave him my name or not, but...
If you what?
If I gave him my name or not.
I don't think you did.
That's fine.
Nice. Send my pleasantry to Iris.
Sure.
I'm just going to
Start to make your
take
way.
my way.
And make a perception check, Erland.
16.
16. The only person you notice as you kind of walk out towards the front that you recognize is you see Raymond Massive there with his husband, kind of near the front. And he sort of locks eyes with you, not locks eyes, but passing glance catches eye contact with you.
Would I know it's his husband? Are they like holding hands? Would I know
They're
that
not, but they're two of them are together. Yeah, I
Okay.
suppose you would not know that.
It was just, so I see Raymond with a...
Yes, with another
Oh,
man.
that was you.
And he sort of looks and just gives you a polite nod. And he's a man of former military, and he sort of just gives you a curt sort of nod. And he turns. He doesn't say anything. Oh my god! And you guys continue out towards the steps. And you guys can now see. First of all, you can see the three of them who have now gotten basically the bottom of the stairs. And do you guys sort of make your way down?
Is Pregus out here?
Make another investigation.
Oh my god.
22.
You don't see.
I'm making my way.
So do I see Armand's carriage based on the description?
Yes. So there is the line of carriages, and you do seem to. You think you see it's a little bit in the distance. It's dark out, and it's very dark. There's oil lanterns sort of linked on the sort of hooks on some of the carriages to give off some light. And you see a man with a blue sash, as he describes, sort of like he's the only one wearing a sash, as far as you can tell, of that color.
And that's what that'd be Malta, presumably.
Yes.
Wearing blue sash. Alright, I'm gonna start making my way.
And you guys make your way down. The
Towards
three of
the-
you get down to where Polnick's men are questioning some people, and one of the men. Oh! Mollefaire's on the second floor. I set everybody up there. We're doing the perimeter. You guys upstairs.
How many times did I tell him we're not errand boys? We have to go retrieve something from Mollefaire from the carriages. We'll be right back.
Alright, be quick about it. Let's go. Oh! All three of you retrieve one thing from the carriage.
It's heavy.
Don't ask us why he does it.
Listen, we don't want to be out here any more longer than we are already. Can we please?
Alright. And he waves you. And lets you go. You guys make your way. And then now the two of you reach sort of the lower end of the stairs, and a different man, not the same one, has just finished up talking to one of the other guests. Who sort of came down the stairs first?
Nice.
I think Beezaura
yeah.
was
If you left first, yeah.
Excuse me, man. Sorry to interrupt your evening.
No problem.
We have a couple of questions we have to ask you. Orders of Polnick, city of Orinchupa.
I understand.
Can I hear this?
Yeah. You're close.
Hate you.
Snack.
Did you see a Goliath this evening?
No, sir. I heard they were looking for him, though.
Yes. Did you see a young tiefling girl? And he's kind of like, it's dark, and he's kind of like looking at a scrawled thing that he has written down.
No. I'm glad, though. They sound dangerous.
I don't know. And a bald elf, bald elf woman. Have you seen one of those?
Not recently. Just kidding. I've never seen a bald elf before in my life.
Make a deception check.
Damn it. So how can you try to be sarcastic with people? 20.
Holy poop!
Look, I've got a couple other questions, but I don't want to waste your time. You haven't seen anything, so
Thank you,
come on,
sir.
baby. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. And he lets you by. And Erland comes down the stairs.
Yeah, I want to go towards the same.
Great. You start to, and another man waves at you. I'd get in trouble if I let him do all the work. So, have you seen a Goliath this evening?
No.
Have you seen a young tiefling girl?
No.
Have you seen a bald elf girl?
No.
Where does Polnick get this stuff?
Who even knows?
Oh, and he kind of claps you on the shoulder.
Jesus Christ.
And he's not looking at you when he does it, but he...
I'm the same size.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Okay, got a couple more here. Who invited you?
I got my invitation from my father.
And your father is?
Godfrey Fultash.
Godfrey Fultash. I think I've heard of him. He's farmer, yeah?
Actually intellectual from the Kira mainland.
Huh. Could have sworn the Fultashes were farmers. Shows what I know. And he kind of scribbles a little bit with the pen. Alright, and if Polnick needs to ask you questions, where can we reach you?
I'm staying in the Rose District at the moment. At the inn in the Rose District.
I forget the name of the inn.
Fables or Poems.
Oh my god.
And if we have to get a letter to you for whatever reason, room number?
15. I think. I've had a lot of wine.
Sure. Alright, that's it. Did you see anything suspicious that I should know about?
No.
Alright. And he lets you through.
Oh my god.
Wowza.
And the five of you sort of are making your way to the carriage. The two of them a little bit behind.
I keep kind of the dark way.
Well,
There's lantern
Carriage-
here and here. We kind of
The
split in the middle.
carriage, most of the carriages have a lantern sort of
Right.
hooked on its
Where
hatch, so there's a decent amount of light.
where physically are any of the carriages moving?
You see a couple of them headed out.
Headed out.
Yeah, so it seems that you're not the only people leaving at the moment.
From here, can I see Maltok?
Yeah, with the blue sash, you guys can see him.
How far away were we? You get it. How far away are we from him?
You guys are probably 100 feet. I mean, it's like there's like a road, and they're sort of parked on the other side of the road.
Does he appear to be like waiting for?
He's just sitting lightly. He's not.
Okay.
As many of the drivers are. They're they're paid to wait, so they're sitting.
And now are we rather out of earshot?
Of
Literally
anyone?
anybody, yeah.
Of each other? You can
No,
hear each
of
other.
us three.
Yes. You are out of earshot of any of the guards.
Okay.
We need to get into these carriages briskly because I'm not sure how quickly our magic will be dispelled and how closely we need to be to the carriage itself.
If we get too close to the carriage and our magic dispels, then they'll almost certainly be able to see us and come after us.
As long as Maltok is discreet, I think we should be fine. Let's just go now, quickly.
Okay.
You guys?
Yeah.
Sort of quickly. Are you guys trying to catch up to them, or are you seeing them? Okay.
Just
So the
walking,
three of you
sauntering.
make your way to the carriage. You see a blue sash. You see the spiraled wheels, and sitting there politely.
Maltok.
And how close are you guys at this point before it is you sort of talk?
You could.
15 feet.
15 feet. So you get up close, 15 feet, and you can you can see the illusion start to lose its consistency a little bit.
Right.
But it hasn't yet. But you can see that if someone was looking close, they'd see some,
Mr. Maltok.
Yes?
We were sent
Armand
by
sent us.
Armand, and we need to use the carriage discreetly, please.
Where is Armand?
He's inside. Please, you may ask any questions of him later, but we need to get back to Urinchuba. Quickly.
What wine were you drinking tonight?
Fuck.
I don't drink wine myself.
Mollefaire Estate.
And he sort of looks in the other direction. Doesn't regard you.
Was there
The
And the two of you have sort of...
I'll come up.
Sure.
Excuse me, Walter.
Yes?
My name is Beezaura. Armand has sent me and the fellows behind me for a ride.
What wine were you drinking this evening?
The Markland?
And he turns away. And now Erland has made his way up.
What was I supposed to say?
Can he hear us if we kind of whisper to each other?
You could turn away so he can.
Is there some code that I'm missing that Armand gave us?
He didn't give us anything.
What other wines were there at the
I
tasting?
think he's taking the piss.
And do you remember any other wines from the tasting?
Erland, are you up to the carriage at this point? Or are you joining them?
I guess if I see them like whispering with
The
each
four
other,
of them have
are we
kind of-
far enough away that like if we were like if I go over to them, is that suspicious to like the guards that I just spoke to? Like how far away?
The quicker
You're
the
like 100
better.
feet
The
away.
quicker the better, yeah.
It's like 100 feet away from the entrance to the estate. I mean,
Then no, I'm not gonna go up to their group then.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get again nearish. What's his name? Maldak. Maltok. I'm gonna get nearish Maltok.
Baby.
yes.
Armand Valliard sent me.
What wine were you drinking?
The Grimari one. The Grimari one. I was drinking the Grimari wine. The Grimari one. I was drinking the Grimari wine.
Oh, God.
And he looks at sort of them behind you and you standing there. Be gone.
I'm just gonna look at,
And-
can I kind of signal to him?
To
And
who?
then what's
To
the Grimali
Malta.
wine?
Sure, Malta. You can get his attention.
I'm looking at how much?
How much for what?
Oh boy.
Transportation.
It's supposed to be free.
Yes, I know it's supposed to be free.
Eye of the Beholder.
And he reaches back. And he clicks sort of a lock and the door opens a little bit. There's not enough room for all of you in the carriage. One will have to sit up here. You can see the carriage is smaller than the one you came.
I'll sit with you, sir.
Pick her up.
Briskly.
And as you move towards
on
it,
there.
now
Yeah.
you can feel the illusion.
Orba's the first to hop into the carriage.
bolt.
Quickly, yeah, we all
I physically
kinda,
pick you up and put you on the front and get
Great.
in.
Yeah. Did we all make it in?
Everyone in.
Drive.
Orange Chupa, please.
And you sort of, the horses start to move. So 4 horses in the front there, and it sort of slowly starts to move its way out. And you sort of can see out the window, and a couple of the guards sort of noticing the group kind of look in your direction, but the carriage is moving away. And they look back towards their business. And you guys are in the carriage.
What was that? What is Eye of the Beholder?
Can I hear them?
It was.
If they're are you guys trying to conceal what you're saying to the driver so
Yes.
he can't hear it?
Yeah.
We
Then
should
you
be
can't hear it
quiet.
as well, yeah. Great. Because they're up.
It was. There was a secret code to get into when we met with Armand privately. There was a secret code to get into his private room, and it was.
I'm never going to a rich person party ever again.
So just now that we have a second, is there anything else that we need to know about where you two have been?
So as you guys are moving, and you see sort of behind you the estate sort of making its way smaller and smaller behind you, and the smells of the wine and the cheese and the meat sort of is replaced with sort of a fresh night air smell. And he picks up the pace a little bit. He goes,
Are there curtains on the carriage
there
windows?
not. No.
Great.
You can sort of sit back, and it wouldn't.
And it's dark out.
Yeah, it's dark
Can I
as
just
well.
kind of peek my eye out? Because I'm trying to look ahead and
your
see
bald
if I
ass
can
head
see.
out?
'Cause
Sorry.
Graven said that.
Don't pick your bald ass head.
It's fucking scary. But no, because I'm trying to see. I have dark vision, and I want to know if there's a checkpoint.
Like ahead of the carriage?
Yes.
Yeah, you stick your head out and you don't see anything in front of you, it's just the path.
So Polnick hasn't set up like a.
Not that you can see. No.
I'm in the front, right?
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sitting with my head back.
And you don't see
so
anything,
that-
nothing catches your attention.
Small talk. You don't speak so much, eh?
Not unless Armand tells me to.
You see? So where are you from?
Took to.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
You have a family?
I do not.
Yeah, me neither.
Fascinating.
Alright.
And he sort of picks up the pace of the horses so the noise gets a little louder. So the clatter of the carriage.
How do you like working for Armand?
He pays well.
I bet. Seems like a nice guy.
Nice enough to me.
Me too. Oddly trustworthy, huh?
If you're useful to him.
I see. How long you been working for him?
My whole life.
Wow. Whole life. So you've known him a while.
I have.
You know a lot about him.
I do. And we return back. Unless you
I
had
don't have
something
any
else
other
that you
questions.
Could we hear any of that?
Thinking.
No. I mean, the clattering of the wagon and the horses, it's fairly... I mean, you can tell that they're talking.
Okay.
So what did you saw Winston Muldoon?
Yes.
And?
He set gnolls on us. I'm telling you, we went down. We literally were sent down to the basements for wine and cheese. And all of a sudden, the 4 men that we were down there with, magic left. First of all, Winston met eyes with me and he remembered me. And he said something. He said, "Shut it down." And then the men became gnolls and attacked us. He drank a shrinking potion and disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared through sewers like a little rat.
Seems like information Paul Nick would want to know.
I don't think
Are we
Paul's our
still
friend
going to meet
anymore.
with
No,
him tomorrow?
absolutely. I have no idea.
I think, as I said, we know that Jillian has been taken by barbarians to the Shaki Mountains.
Yes, and what is all this talk about you going to go and rescue her? That sounds ridiculous.
Well, after 3 days, the barbarians will take her to the Shaki Mountains, but in transit there is an opportunity to perhaps save her. Remember, she saved you.
You're not confident,
She
or
didn't do shit for me.
Safira, you still kind of peeking out the window?
Yeah.
As you're moving along, you see another carriage on the side that seems to have been pulled over. 4 horses, similar in yours, not as nice of a carriage as yours. And you see the driver is there in the front alone, and he sees your carriage as you guys pass, and he just kind of waves as you go by.
It's empty other than the driver? We don't
You
see
can't
it.
tell. Make a perception check.
5?
5. I mean, you can't see. This one does have curtains on the windows, and you can't see on the other side of it. You don't see anybody else, but you don't know for sure if he's the only one.
And it doesn't look broken down?
Not
Just
that you can
stopped?
tell. Yeah, just stopped. You gotta keep going.
Can I be still in the front with him? You know a lot of other drivers in town?
I do not, unless they're from Tuk-Tu.
You don't talk about driving stories?
There are no driving stories.
See.
I didn't know that one, if that's what you're thinking.
Wasn't thinking a bit. Just didn't know if your friends were also drivers.
Yes, all of them drivers.
Oh. Nice. You get paid a lot?
Armand pays well,
So you said.
so I said.
You know a lot of other people in this town except for Armand, or is that the only one?
Not in Orinchuba, no.
Do you know all about Armand's dealings, or does he not talk to you about that?
I don't talk to you about that.
So you do know. Sneaky Muldoon.
And you see a little smile.
Aww.
And he looks back towards the road. We go back into the cabin.
I will.
I think we ought to find Robert and try and get out of Owen-Chupa immediately. We're wanted. That much seems clear.
I think you're right. No good can come of meeting with Polnick now.
I'm kind of like dead-eyed staring out the window. I'm just gonna say, I think we should meet with Polnick.
And what good would that do? What does he have for us right now?
Well, we'd be keeping a promise. And look, I don't think it makes it any better if he wants to chase us out of Erland. And besides, what Armand said about him, whether or not Armand is trustworthy, made me believe that maybe Polnick might be an ally.
Not if he believes us. Well, not. I mean, we broke the law.
We gave him. Well, we
Which
inadvertently broke.
He told us not to leave, and we
That's
left.
not the law.
We left with the intention of returning. We should have informed him. Look, we've done nothing.
Who is he expecting?
To
Just
make-
the four of us?
Yes.
Not Beezaura.
He doesn't even know about her.
We've done nothing wrong.
What good comes out of that? If we rescue Jillian, or at least try, or at least get out of Orange Chupa, we can collect ourselves.
How long is it before Jillian is
Day and a half,
passed?
3 days before she makes it to the Shaki Mountains. If we ride tonight, we can at least see how big the caravan is. If it's something we don't want to do, we can head to Mukmu or Tuktu or any of the other ooze north of here.
You're suggesting we go
Tonight.
right now? I need a rest.
Beezaura, make a perception check. You don't have night vision, do you? I don't think you... Where is that on the paper?
That's at bottom left.
Bottom left under like...
Under senses.
senses?
So you see, like.
It would say dark
No.
vision. Okay, so make a perception check.
Jesus.
Is that a 20?
20. So as the carriage is moving forward and you're there sitting in front of the driver, there's sort of a gentle bend to the road, and on either side now is vineyards. I mean, you guys are passing through sort of the main Mollefaire vineyards, so there's a little bit of coverage on both sides, and the path's kind of bending, and you see what appears to be someone on foot holding a lantern, and there's sort of, it first starts very small, but his light kind of in the darkness makes a decent bit of illumination. And you guys are moving sort of quickly towards it.
Otto,
Yes,
who's that man up there?
I don't know, but we're going to find out very soon.
Is it usual to have people out here with lanterns?
Not much around here as far as I know.
Wonderful.
And sort of, you guys gets closer, and a little bit closer. And that's where we're going to take our parade.
You're a monster.
Before we dive into that, awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be right back.
Yeah,
No,
thank
I
you.
wasn't. And
And we all just died.
end of the campaign.
No.
We're gonna take a quick 15-minute dinner break, and we'll jump right back in, and we'll see what's up. You guys are away from the estate. Made it. We'll be right back.
Think we made it.
I gotta go change my diaper. a swish.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're back in, back from break. And we travel along the road back to Oranchuba. Some of the familiar sights passing by as you travel through. A nicer ride for Orba and Safira and Graven as they were on the paddy wagon heading to the estate.
Right.
It's not being enjoyed.
And the lights are getting a little closer, but you have a moment here to say something.
Right.
So we don't see them.
You do not.
Okay.
So far, Beezaura is the only one who sees.
You truly think we should meet
I
with
truly
all
think
of
we
us?
should meet with Paul. It doesn't have to be all of us. I would like to.
At the very least, our things are still at the Dancing Clan.
No, we need to take a rest. I agree.
Yes, I
But
need
our
a
appointment
rest.
with him was tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow, like, sun up tomorrow, or tomorrow, like, it's
Tomorrow
already tomorrow,
night.
so it's tomorrow?
Is it very, very late?
What's
It's
tomorrow?
past midnight,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I mean.
This coming evening, we are supposed to meet with him.
We can take a moment to try to sleep.
We rest.
Were the names at the Dancing Clan under? It was under Robert Bastille, right?
It was under
It was
Jillian.
under Jillian. The names on the Dancing Clan on the rooms.
On the rooms was Jillian's name.
was
yes.
Jillian.
Yep.
Okay. As long as we're discreet entering the Dancing Clan, we should be fine. Yes.
Yes.
It's quiet.
Graven,
Yeah, it's a little too
How
quiet.
could you
For a
forget?
little while there, it was very quiet outside.
Where's our background music in the vineyards?
Graven, you don't enjoy the idea of going to Polnick.
I do enjoy the idea of being honest with him and getting him off my back, but
I think
Whether
we'd
that
be
we
much
can-
better served to be honest with him than to not. And frankly, the fact that the people in that tasting don't trust him makes me trust him significantly more.
Yeah, I don't like anybody that was at that house.
I'm sorry. Doesn't anyone else want to get paid by Jillian?
No, I do too. I agree that it's a priority to save her, but I don't want to miss the meeting with Polnick and then extend. If anything, he's already very suspicious of us. If we go,
If we don't go now,
Then at least
we'll
we
have to
honor
get
our promise.
Jillian out of hundreds of barbarians.
you know, I would truly like to know why Polnick thinks we're such a threat.
I think it's because we
Left
left.
the city limits when we said we wouldn't.
It's that important
It's
to
also
him,
because we were the people who discovered Mollefaire's friend dead in the grotto.
which again we had nothing to do
Of
with.
course we didn't, but he doesn't know that. None of his men were there. We're vouching for each other.
And as this discussion is happening, we move towards the front, where Beezaura sees the lantern approaching. You see, and as it gets closer, you see that not one, but there's two people, two humans, as they sort of come up. And they stand sort of in front of the carriage. It's not a particularly wide path. And one of the men, sort of heavy set with a bushy beard, sort of slicked back, dark hair, holding a hooded lantern up. Oh there! Oh there! Coming from the Mollefaire Estate. And Moltok sort of addresses him. Yes. Let us pass, please. Were you guests or laborers? And Moltok sort of looks to you.
I was a guest, sir.
And he sort of looks to the person to his side. No weapons allowed at the estate. That's the rules, yeah?
You are correct.
And his friend kind of looks at him and nods. And he kind of pulls a scabbard towards his front. And he sort of holds it there. I think maybe take a look at what you got. And then we let you pass.
Have we noticed that it is stopped?
Yeah, oh yes.
Yeah, we can
So
hear this.
you guys are looking out the window.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we see. Yeah.
You need to take a look.
I think maybe toss any valuables out the window, and then we let you go.
Can I? How tough do these guys look?
I mean, he's not small, but
And he has a weapon.
He has a weapon.
He has a scabbard. Is that it? Does he have armor?
He does not. He has like some simple, maybe leather armor. It's hard to tell in the dark, but it's like it seems padded at least, but not proper
And we
armor.
obviously don't have any weapons on
You have
us,
no
so
weapons currently.
And what, we're back wearing just like.
You're wearing
Wearing whatever
regular
we're
rags.
wearing.
She's
Yeah.
wearing a dress. Erland has a nicer outfit. You guys are wearing.
Can I know I don't have any spell slots left, but can I like just. Yeah, because I can create light, right? Can I just like.
You can do
hold
any
the-
of your spells that are cantrips that
Oh,
don't
yeah,
require
yeah,
spell
That's
slots.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
can Orba like just melting down like mentally just starts taking her crystal out of her thing. No words, just yanking it out and going for the door.
Sure.
Oh, you're going for the door?
I'm going
The door of the
outside.
carriage.
Are you ready? Are you capable of fighting? Are you hurt?
No, if I'm gonna
Can I
impose
kind of
Yep.
reach for her as you're leaving? What?
Are you trying to scare them or fight them?
So as this is happening, guy kind of like throw any valuables, and then we'll let you go. And the person behind him seems a little more nervous, and kind of like, there's a lot of them. And he turns and they got no weapons. Steady.
The door. I'm just gonna kick the door
Sure.
open. Yeah.
So the door
like,
open?
Slam the door open with my.
Are there
giant
doors on
tree-
either side?
Tree
Yeah,
trunk
doors
of
on
a
both
leg.
Orba goes
won't-
to the other one.
What do we look like?
We look like
Oh, we look like
ourselves.
ourselves.
Yes.
Right, of course.
I'm gonna kick it open forcefully
Sure.
and like leave my trunk of a leg out there for a second, and then like step out and bring myself to my full height,
Sure.
and like, yeah, just start to like, make the little bit of the sacred flame in my hand. In my
Sure. You
palms.
sort of hold up. What are you doing at the same?
Orba has a
moment?
crystal in her hand, and she's slowly stepping out and throwing it up in the air like this.
Sure. So as Graven sort of holds his hands out, and you go to open them, and you feel like dark, like pulsing in your veins. It feels like the blood stops in your arms for a moment, and there's a sort of a whiff of smoke, and the orb that's sitting in the back of the carriage, a small orb, cantaloupe size, it glows for a moment, and then it dissipates, and nothing comes out of the hands.
Is the orb attached to the carriage?
So there's like a wooden plank and an orb sitting in like a cutout circle, like a wooden circle. So it's visible.
But it's
and
resting.
It's just resting there?
as far as you can tell.
Can I, from inside the carriage, can I try and pick it up?
Sure. Make an athletics check. It's very heavy as you go to pick it up.
It's very heavy?
As you go to pick it up, it's very heavy. Surprisingly for an object of
Okay.
that size.
Athletics?
Yes.
7.
7. So as you go to pick it up, you go and it's not big, but you grab it and you try to pry it out of the sort of resting spot that it's sitting in, and you can't get it's very smooth. It's like glass smooth, and you can't get a grip on it enough to pry it out of the back, so it stays there.
Orba just starts continuing to walk like as she exits the door straight. So trying to get out of the radius, but not showing any urgency. She's slowly just kind of.
Yes.
And one of
Still
the
confidently holding my hands. with
Sure,
smoke.
and one of them, the one in the back, kind of backs off a little bit, and it's got no magic. He's bluffing.
If you think you'll be getting anything out of us tonight, I think you'd better move on.
And he looks at you. Make an intimidation check.
I want to step out behind Graven, and as he's saying that, say, think carefully about your next move, friend.
He sees like the elf head like poking behind the...
I'm trying to give him advantage.
This is intimidation? Okay. 15.
15.
All right. One of
So-
your better ones.
He looks at the two of them, sort of look at you, and one of them, the one behind, kind of, it's not worth it, and books it in the opposite direction. And the one man stands his ground, and he kind of gives a, and a couple people coming out of the vineyards.
Vineyard?
Sorry, sort of the vines in the bushes. They sort of make their way out. And it looks like there's at least 3 other people that he's sort of summoned with rudimentary but weapons. And one with a small sword, one with a kind of 2-handed axe, another one with a crude sort of small short bow that they kind of hold.
If we've taken maybe 3 or 4 good paces away from the cart, how far away are they?
Probably 20 feet. The closest person.
Are they flanking us, or are they?
Yes, so 2 of them came out like from the side. So we had people on either side.
Oh, so I'm like
of the road.
walking toward one.
You're like, one of them comes out with like the axe, and you're very close. You're like maybe 15 feet away from him.
And how far am I from the carriage at that point?
10, 15 feet.
That's right around there.
Yep.
So carriage, us 10, 15 feet, them another 20 feet.
Yeah, we gotta.
Depending on who you're talking about. The guy you were talking to, or the guys that came out?
Any of them.
The guys that came out are closer to you because the road was fairly narrow. The guy you were talking to is a little bit further away from you because he was sort of blocking the way in the road.
I'm gonna just like with not sprinting or anything, but like quickly just still make my way towards him.
Sure, you do, and the person with the bow kind of and pulls the bow back.
I'm in the carriage.
Yep.
And what's in the carriage? Like, is there?
You make an investigation check.
More dresses.
Oh crap! What is this? 10.
10. So you take you're looking around, and as you're doing this, Maltok sees you kind of rummaging around the carriage, and he leans back. And he speaks to you in Elvish. And he says, there's a bow and arrows in the compartment at your feet. And you look down, and there's sort of a brass handle underneath that you can kind of pull up. Do you do so?
Yes.
And you do, and you see a sort of, it's not as nice as your bow.
Are there any other weapons?
No, just the bow that he was talking about.
Great. I'm gonna take the bow and arrow.
Sure.
I'm gonna pull a bow out of the quiver.
Yep.
Like, arm it.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna look right at the guy who originally made the threat, and I just want to shoot an arrow right past his ear.
Make an attack roll. And you're attempting to miss, correct?
Yes, I'm attempting to miss.
Okay.
I'm not trying to hit him.
Okay. And the bow is not as nice as your bow.
Okay.
What is you add like
My
+3 to it?
Longbow is +7.
+7. We'll call this a +4 because it's
4.
not as nice a bow.
23.
23. So and the arrow whizzes by the guy's head, and he kind of, and everyone's kind of like waiting for his command.
If that was shot by the half-elf in the carriage, she meant to miss. If she fires again, she won't.
And he kind of looks around.
I suggest you move on there.
And he takes a step back. And he lowers the lantern a little bit. Let's go! And two of them that kind of came out of the sides are kind of back through the vineyards. And he makes his way a little bit down the path and turns into the vineyards and they disappear.
Get back in the carriage.
Putting the bow. I'm gonna have the bow kind of ready.
Sure.
Where did you get that bow?
Got a tip from our friend up there.
Thank you, Malta.
Friends of yours?
No.
Absolutely.
Did they seem like friends of ours?
Don't be mean to him. He just saved our lives.
What?
Everyone in the carriage now.
Right.
I'd like to take you to Urinchup as quickly as possible and get back to Armand.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
You guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys are piling back into the carriage. And at this moment, the carriage behind you, and you recognize this as you saw it, it's a carriage that was pulled over to the side of the road, has sort of made its way up to you with the time that has passed. And so you guys are sort of quickly putting everything together, and Maltok is kind of getting the horses. They were a little spooked by the lanterns and the people. He kind of settles them. Beezaura, make an animal handling check to help him sort of calm the horses.
Ooh, how exotic.
Yes. Also with horror.
Because the two of you are sort of up front, you're kind of getting it.
I'm a very good animal handler. 17.
Great. So the two of you calm the horses. You kind of pat one of them and sort of grab it by the reins and sort of give it a little pet, and it kind of they settle. And you guys are pretty much ready and set to go. And the other wagon pulls up close to you.
Are we back inside?
You guys are back inside the cabin.
Yeah.
Yep. The windows are open. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no thing. And you see the curtain this carriage that had curtains on the side. One of the curtain pulls aside. Jesus Christ. And a man leans out with both arms. And his unshaven face and his messy hair is immediately recognizable to Erland and Safira. I suppose I should be thanking you that my weak constitution forced me to take a piss on the side of the road. Otherwise, I'd be the one fighting off whoever that is in the middle of the night. I don't know if you heard, Polnick's looking for you back up at the estate. You and your wine-serving friend, who seems to have upgraded her wardrobe considerably. He's sort of leaning out the window, smiling at you guys.
Who are you?
Who is this?
Samuel Prekis. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're the writer.
I am.
Pleasure.
Yes, I find that most people very pleasurable talking to me.
Oh,
Mr.
so.
Peckus, you're a man of many secrets, are you not?
Secrets.
Somewhat of a secret keeper, an author. Like yourself, you know many people's secrets, I'm assuming.
I'm knowledgeable in ways of history, I suppose.
You headed home?
I am. Back to Orange Upa. You doing the same?
I trust you won't tell anyone you saw us. As someone who mutually hates the wealthy as much as we clearly do in this moment.
I'm not gonna lie to Polnick if he asks me. But I doubt he'll spare a moment for me, especially after I was well questioned on my way out the door. I thoroughly enjoyed your little note, by the way. A bit of unexpected nostalgia. My wife has not laughed that hard since I fell down the steps in our living room a couple weeks ago.
Which note was that?
And he kind of looks around at the rest of you. That wasn't you. GGG, P216. You're the only one that I discussed Grammari with this evening. I assumed it was a bit of mischief brought upon your behalf.
Where did you get the note?
It was slipped to me under a wine bottle. Huh. Not your doing?
No. Do you know what that means?
I shouldn't have said anything.
Huh.
Look, I don't want to have this discussion amongst possible vagabonds. Are you headed to Urnchupa?
Yes.
Why don't you ride with me and my wife, and we'll chat. You can bring your bald friend if you'd like. The rest of you I never met before, so for peace of mind, I'm going to assume that Polnick wants you for tax evasion and not mass murder.
I'll say this quietly, so he doesn't quite hear. I'll say, meet you at the clam, and I'll hop out of the carriage and hop into his.
I'm kind of nodding, and I'm gonna go with you.
Alright, Safira and Erland. And now you guys are there. Are you gonna go back into the cabin with them now that there's room, or are you gonna stay up there with Maltar?
I'm gonna go back into the cabin.
Okay, cool. And Maltuck doesn't seem to mind as you sort of get on.
Maltuck,
Yes,
it was a pleasure.
it was.
I might shut my eyes for a moment. Do you mind if I sit in the back?
Of course not.
Thank you, sir.
As I'm leaving, I'm gonna put the bow and arrow and the like arrows back in the compartment,
And he sees you do this, and he...
and just look up to him and say, "Tell him I'm sorry for using one."
Not a problem. That's what they're there for.
Yes.
And the two of you...
Step out, yeah.
So much for sticking together.
And you watch the two elves make their way to Samuel's, and it opens up, and this one's considerably nicer. It seems like it's been sort of decadently decorated, cushioned seats. Not that the other one's, poorly, but... And you guys get in. We'll stay in the Maltalk wagon for a moment as the two of you start to make your way. And the two of you are traveling at about the same pace. Samuel Precus's driver allows you to travel out first, so you're a little bit ahead. But if you look back, you can see the other carriage behind you. Yeah, but the two of you are both moving.
Hello, friends.
Evening.
You've been through a lot.
Too much. You haven't been in a fight this evening, have you? Oh no, yeah, you were with them, weren't you?
We fought imaginary armor. Imagine that.
Sounds delightful.
It was quite treacherous, actually. Stronger than you'd imagine.
What do you... I was going to say, what do you think about Polnick? You don't have any reason to go and meet him, do you?
I don't even know him.
Your feelings on meeting with him?
I understood Safira's reasons for doing so. I also wouldn't mind clearing my own conscience and knowing that there's not somebody out there who is looking for me.
Do you want to still find Jillian?
No, as far as I'm concerned, I have absolutely no interest in getting any more involved with these things than I already have.
Even though she was willing to pay you money?
Money does not concern me. I wish to be safe. I'm sorry, but you guys are lovely, but ever since you guys came into my world, it's been nothing but treachery and fighting and blood. It's not something that I imagined for myself.
You want to find your family? Be safer.
What?
With us.
That's mainly the reason why I'm still amongst you.
Me too.
I'm sorry, Orba.
It's okay.
I'm not sure where you were headed that night you came across Jillian and us, but
Oh,
I'm glad that you've been with us so far.
Thanks. That's
Your
nice.
magic is quite impressive.
It's okay.
Have you thought about teaching it to other half-elves?
Huh? Teaching my magic?
Why not? You're very good.
I'm not very good, actually. But thank you for saying so.
You're welcome. I just don't have those mystical powers.
Nah.
Listen, Jillian, if she's still alive, she does have not only gold for me, but some information that I greatly desire. And
What is
there's
that?
a chance. If I don't know it, you're not going to know it. Sorry.
I told you all about my life. No one else is willing to give up any
Can you just
Well, that's
understand that
because-
we're a bit snippy tonight?
Yes.
What were you going to
I
say?
was going to say that if there is a chance that we can save her, then I would like to try. And if we can do that, if we can press upon Polnick in meeting him early on sundown, press upon him that is what we would.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Why did you have to meet Polnick? I have no idea who he is.
Because of that night, the night that the Fassard died.
Polnick was just the man that we reported to after we exited the caves. That's it.
He's upset that I didn't. The invisible man that stabbed Erland and the dead body. We didn't. That's what.
We left out some
We left out
information,
some
but
information.
that's because Graven was ill and I was concerned with getting him home so he could have some rest. So we didn't stay and have a long chat. Everything's just been misunderstood time and time again.
So he just wants to meet you for clarification.
At this point, I don't know.
That's what I thought until he tried to track us down at the estate.
Well, I have no interest in finding Jillian. She wanted to turn me in.
Yes, well, I could see why you wouldn't want it.
What?
No, I could see why you wouldn't. There's no
Oh.
loyalty with Jillian. So why go and risk your life to go get this woman who's in a mountain somewhere, surrounded by all these crazy people?
I had to meet with a man to try to get a chess piece.
Okay. I'm glad that you found some contacts at least. Night wasn't a total waste.
I have a long 24 hours ahead of me.
With that, we move over to Sam and Priest's carriage. And his wife is in there with him. My wife, Genevieve.
Jamie, lovely to meet you.
Yes. She politely nods. I don't care, but would you like to introduce yourself to my wife?
Nice to meet you, Guinevere.
Yes. You as well. She sort of says. So, seems there's something amiss about Grimari. You didn't leave the note.
No.
It was quite funny. But if you don't know, do you know what the writing means? GGGP 216.
I have some idea based on a superficial knowledge of Grimari's giant grimoire.
Ruggieri fancied himself quite the jokester when he was young. Had quite the sense of humor, juvenile as it was, before the halls of transmutation beat it out of him, as they're known to do. In the early editions of his works, written as a young adult, he included pages that were infused with a mirrored inscription spell. Do you know what that is?
No.
Anything that he wrote on a separate page that he kept to himself would appear inside the book. So he would use this to draw lewd pictures and embarrass his colleagues as they flipped through his book.
Oh.
It took a while for the halls to catch on, but eventually he was forced to republish them. GGGP 216 became a bit of an inside joke, a way to cleverly get your professors to go to the library and look up a limp phallus or a pair of balls.
And was there in fact a lymph phallus or holes on page 216?
The last time I looked, there was, yes.
The last time you looked?
Some time ago. You see, anything that he writes on this page that he keeps to himself would appear inside the book on this page.
Sorry, can I ask for clarification on what this spell is?
Yeah.
I'm not quite clear.
There's this page 216 in this book. Grimari had a separate page, not inside the book.
Okay.
And there was a spell, and anything he wrote on this page that he kept to himself would appear on the page inside the book.
On the page inside the book.
Yes.
Okay.
So people would write the name of the page, and they'd go look it up, and he would draw a lewd drawing so that they flip to the page, and inside this, educational textbook was a inappropriate picture.
So would they? So he would have to. So like, as someone was looking at the book, if he was writing at that time, it would appear on that page.
They would see it appear on the page. Yes.
Great. And how would, if you were to, if you wanted to see a lymph phallus, perhaps, how would you let Grimari know that you were looking at the page at that time?
Before I do that, and he reaches underneath and he pulls out a bottle of Mollefaire Estate that he seems to have. Can we?
I like you, Samuel.
Absolutely.
And he sort of pops it open and he takes a swig and he passes it around.
I take it before I shit, and I'm just gonna take
Take a couple
like
big
a long,
gulps.
generous swig, and I'm just gonna hand it.
Where were we?
If you were, I'm going to take a very, very baby sip in a second.
So he takes a big gulp.
If you were to want to see a silly picture that Grimari was drawing,
Yes.
how would you cue him to begin drawing the picture when you turned to 216?
Well, most of the time he just left a picture there. You see, he would escape getting in trouble by, if someone found the image and they reported it to a professor, he could wipe the image clean. So when the professor turned to it, it was a blank page.
Most of the time?
Well, sometimes he wanted the professor to see a cock and balls.
So
Depends on how much he liked the professor, I suppose.
So if he left an image, how would you see it?
I'm not sure what you mean.
So if he left an image, and so anytime there was an image,
Anytime someone writes on this page, it appears inside the book.
and
But the spell has the ability to wipe the page clean.
and there's a way to bring. Is there a way to bring back the page?
What are you?
Okay, so
DM clarification.
Yeah, John is being thick here, not Erland.
What's the-
Okay, so
I'm blushing.
there's a page that Grimari has.
Yes.
And there's a page
Inside
216
the
in
book.
Grimari's grimoire.
In every published version.
Or
of-
the early editions.
The early
they made him
editions, yeah.
republish it.
Right.
Without
and
the page.
when Grimari draws a dick on a lymph phallus, anything on
A circle.
the page that he has,
Yes.
it automatically appears in this
inside the
other
book,
page.
Yes.
And it remains there until he erases
magically
it.
erases his page.
The idea being somebody has, maybe Grimoire, maybe somebody else,
Grimari
has that special page and wrote like
Yeah, they are one.
What you
that
saw.
stuff.
Oh, so it's not.
It's
So-
not. God, what was your question?
Okay, so what we saw supposed
Somebody
to
wanted
replicate?
you to see that.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's like a message, basically.
Yes.
Anything that somebody writes on this page that you don't know where it is appears inside the book.
So he should probably find the
Who the hell
original
wrote it on
page.
the wall?
Is there any way to? Do you know who has the Grimari's magic page?
Well, as far as I know, he was forced to destroy it. But I suppose someone could have their hands on a copy.
Yeah, right.
Who would have their hands on a copy to play practical jokes?
Well, when Grimari was off teaching in Kira, he left most of his research operations in the hands of his apprentice, Marvin Bishop. And after Grimari returned following his excommunication, Marvin refused to work with him anymore. The two of them had some falling out, I'm not sure why. If there's anyone who knows what Grimari's up to or what he was thinking, might be him.
Why is he?
His apprentice knows Grimari's work very well.
Where is he?
Oh, where is he? He lives in Mukmu, as far as I know.
Were there any other pages in the book? Because you said 216 became a shorthand.
Yeah,
Were there
that was
any-
the only page in the book that had the spell. So if you saw that letters and page scrawled somewhere, you have yourself a little chuckle, because you knew what was there, waiting for you.
I wish that was real.
So people would write this on bathroom walls and
Desks,
and-
floors, walls.
and it became sort of a signifier for
A bit of an inside joke.
lovely.
I received a piece of paper this evening that had that written on it. I assumed that you knew the history.
It wasn't us.
Some other very funny practical joker.
Somehow I believe that it wasn't you. Doesn't seem to be your sense of humor.
And he hands you a bottle of wine.
Take it. I'm just ignoring what he said and just drink again.
Whatever.
I'm just gonna pass it right back to him because I know Erland's not gonna take it.
You said Grimari was in Finlock Forest last.
Last I heard, but that was admittedly some time ago.
What else do you know about this man?
About Grimari?
Yeah.
We gave lectures a few times together. I would say we were friendly but not friends.
Lectures about what?
I gave historical lectures on the history of Antisuyu.
And Grimari.
Grimari would give lectures on scientific matters, not things that I know particularly well.
Scientific.
What was written on when his magic page was erased? What was written on page 216 in the first edition?
If it was erased,
Yeah,
if it was blank,
Just a blank page.
spell mimics the page completely. A funny bit of magic.
Yes. It's just a blank page in the middle of a book. How funny.
You have a real hard time with this.
No, I get. Now I gotcha.
So it's a page.
If you
in the
wish
book?
to disguise it, he could write something that makes sense in the context of the book, I
Yes.
suppose.
A bit of a subject change, I suppose, now that we're drinking wine.
If you don't mind, your association with Grimari?
Oh, just like.
Yes, Erland, your association with Grimari.
What do you call me? Are you drunk, woman?
And he takes the bottle of wine.
My father was a fan of Grimari.
I understand he had many fans. Are you from Kiura?
Yes.
I understood that he taught there for some time.
Yes, he did. I believe that's why my father was a fan of his, local hero of sorts.
Did he have you study underneath him? I understand that he was fairly well regarded as a teacher.
No, we were not wealthy enough. I've come much further since.
You're here at the Mollefaire Estate, so you must have.
Can I kind of have a look at his wife? Like, what is his wife?
I mean, she's sitting there politely. She kind of laughed a few times as his story was being told,
Nice
chuckling
dress.
to herself.
Okay. I'm kind of trying to gauge, like, what the relationship is.
I mean, she's laughed at as he was sort of talking about the history. She was sort of chuckling along. She didn't seem to be
Okay.
annoyed by the story or by the juvenile nature of the conversation.
Okay. Okay.
You don't know Grimari?
No, I didn't know anything about him.
And, congratulations on going from server to princess in the course of a night.
Wasn't exactly how I'd planned the night going, but
Rarely is.
Did Grimari have any strong opinions about myconid extract?
I believe Grimari studied it extensively. The science is not something that I know or care to know. I do know the effect that it's had on the social and political landscape. Turned it into a goddamn madhouse is what it has. Lunatics who never had the strength or numbers to do any meaningful damage, now one flask away from power they never thought possible. Grimari was ahead of the curve, as it were. He theorized the benefits of myconid extract long before they started uprooting them from their homes. I think he just secured significant funding for his research when the revelations of his plagiarism came to light.
Secured significant funding from whom?
I'm not sure. Local governments? He went to them and said that he believed they had significant power and raised quite a bit of money to investigate those claims. What a pleasant carriage ride this is. The two of you questioning me. Tell me something about yourself so I don't feel like a fool.
I'm from the Kira mainland, from not much wealth, but like I said, my family has found considerable means since.
Excellent. We're repeating ourselves. Would you like to what did you say?
Whoa. Well, apparently I'm a princess.
Good to know.
Was Marvin Bishop a man? A human?
Was, yes.
And you say he's in Mukmu. Does he work at the, who was the page? The Grimari page?
GGD.
The 216 page.
Well, nobody has anything on them, do they?
Well,
No, I just want to see.
Memory.
Yeah, it's in my
Meta break.
This is something I would. Does Marvin work at the Natural Studies Institute in Mukmu?
That sounds familiar. Again, I'm not a scientific man. Not institutes that interest me, but sounds like I've heard the name before.
You're a writer. You presume that the story about Grimari has been written about, it's been done over and over again. You're not interested in writing about him?
About his fall from grace?
What if the story wasn't over?
Not sure what you mean.
Well, what if he was still conducting lectures? Still teaching?
He would be...
Perhaps underground?
I suppose it's possible. Grimari's very well known. That would be exceedingly difficult for him, unless he was lecturing...
Exceedingly difficult. That would cost a lot of money that presumably he's already raised.
Sure.
Right.
Not exactly sure what she's getting at.
Nor am I. In the forest, is there any word as to what he's been doing with his time?
Finlock Forest is, not much there these days, so hiding, I would think, from his shame.
I heard part of it was destroyed in the wars.
It was, yes.
With the danger of being terribly rude, do you mind if you just give us one moment?
You guys are sitting like...
Yeah, like 2
I know,
feet away from
I'm
each
going to
other.
talk in Elvish to him.
Sure.
Okay, so in Elvish I'm going to say, I think I'm not sure how much we want to tell him, but this is my theory. If Grimari is still teaching, if he gave us this warning, then the lecture halls that we found underground, he had the money, the means to do this. Perhaps he's running some kind of an underground network to produce and sell the serum on some kind of a black market. And I'm presuming that he's being protected by the Gentle Void. If that's true, he could write a story about it.
In like a local paper?
No, for fuck's sake, no. Do you know what I
Private
mean?
conversation I don't mind, but I'd rather you not point at me. It makes me nervous.
We can discuss this later.
No, I need
I want
you
to
to...
ask him...
Look, I need you to... I need assurance from you that you're right if I give this information to him.
I don't think anyone writing about Grimari would be a good thing right now, given that we might be trying to find Grimari. That might force him further underground.
It doesn't have to be... I just want to talk to him about the stuff I know!
Lovely. I don't think you should.
I want
As
to...
they converse, we head back to
Oh my god.
Thank gosh.
And you guys, as you guys are moving along, I mean, some time has passed, and in the distance, the walls of Aranchupa start to appear in the distance. You guys are making your way there at a decent pace. Tuck's gotten you there, and much quicker than you took to get from Aranchupa to the estate. He's moved you at a good pace. And,
Gosh.
and we'll move back to the other carriage as Orba trips it. No,
Excuse me. There's skills in my nose now.
What do you think?
I'll just keep talking.
Go
So
ahead.
the walls of Aranchupa.
No, I'm good. It's gone now.
What do you
got
think
it.
your plans are when you get back to Aranchupa?
The first thing is a night's sleep. But do we feel safe going back to the clam? Do we think that Polnick might be looking for us
Well,
there?
our things are at the clam.
Yeah, I guess if we approach carefully.
I have to go back to Fable's repairs.
Oh, good for you. Sounds nice.
Does sound nice, actually.
But
You have
after
one night left there? Just this night? Yeah.
after you've rested,
Yes?
I mean, would you come with me if I went to try to meet Polnick and then on to find Jillian?
Where are you meeting Polnick?
At the hall.
Told you to meet you at
Yeah.
Jupiter Hall.
I'd go with you.
And you're gonna go find Jillian?
I'm going to try.
You're gonna go?
I don't know.
What would you rather do?
I don't know. I need to sleep.
Sleep will help.
Should I meet you somewhere?
I mean, I suppose if you could be in the area of Chupa Hall at sundown tomorrow, if anything seems awry, you can either...
Did he say sundown, actually? I want to... Let me confirm the time really
Yeah.
Yeah,
quickly in my notes.
you can pull next at sundown.
He said sundown? Okay. Alright.
sunset.
I have some business to take care of during the day. If I can make it there, I will.
Thank you. I suppose, keep the signal as Benji.
Of course.
Sounds good.
Is this one of your chess piece businesses?
It is. I'm to try to get a contract, destroy a contract. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, by myself. But we'll see. Maybe he'll be forgiving.
Maltok leans back. We're coming up very close. Couple of minutes. Sort of coming very quickly. You see the bridge that you crossed when you first came in. Sort of coming.
So, we approach the clam, carefully. Trying to get some rest.
Okay.
Are we getting out right now?
No, you're not quite. Almost there. If there's any last bit of business before you.
I guess, do you have to do this alone? Do you...
I don't. If you... I could use your services. It takes a bit of intimidation,
Oh,
my task.
I see.
See, the mining, for my instance. Iris had a plot of land she didn't realize was quite as valuable when she sold it. So she needs a contract to be relinquished. I need to either convince the man to relinquish the contract or destroy the contract on my own. So,
Oi.
Sounds devious.
I understand if you don't want to come along, but it is something. If I complete in 24 hours, there could be a bit of money in stake, as well as the peace. Honestly.
Do you feel confident?
I always felt confident in my abilities, but I could never deny some help.
I understand.
I understand, though, if one or none of you were to come. But
When were you planning on heading over to this place?
come morning. Early. I'm not gonna sleep before night, though.
Oh, then I'm out.
Not going to what?
I'll probably get started as soon as the sun comes up. I want to start plotting so I can advance.
We would need longer for a long rest than that, right?
It's at least 8 hours, I think.
Sorry.
You were saying you were planning on leaving.
Well, if I get it done in 24 hours, I met her at what time? Like sundown.
Yeah, well, you had to send a note to her at the Mollefaire Estate, right? That's what she told you. To tell you that it was done.
Oh, yeah.
But you have enough time to sleep. I mean, how early did you want to get up?
Well, I want to know what I'm dealing with. I mean, I can't like wake him up because that'd be weird. Like, I want it
Yes,
to be...
if you knocked on his door at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So okay, we can get a full night's rest. I guess.
If you guys went back to the inn without too much dilly-dallying, you asleep at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you'd be waking up around 10 for a long rest.
Well, my thought is we were going to go in the morning to Lauren's house and see if she was okay and also take her things.
Yeah.
So we'll be in the Rose District.
Yes, we can stop by.
You can feel sort of the carriage is starting to slow and the bridge is ready.
If you want to come, meet me in the back of Fable's Repose,
Noon, 1.
11:30. Noon.
Noon.
Noon. If you need to get to what's his name by sundown, so we have to be efficient.
All right.
I'll give you a bit of the money.
So generous.
Please don't do
All right.
We'll head back to the other carriage. We'll be sort of reversing back in time a little bit, but if the city's getting close, you can...
Mr. Precus, what do you say? How drunk does he seem? He's been slamming this bottle.
Yeah. I mean, he does seem drunk to you.
Mr. and Mrs. Precus, what do you say to perhaps a little bit of fun?
Oh gosh.
Would you like to see if perhaps this,
Put on the different music.
this grammari book maybe still has some flaccid phalluses in it?
As much fun as that sounds, and his wife kind of laughs a little bit at the suggestion, I believe Chupa Hall and the library are rather overrun at the moment.
You're a famous man. You could waltz in and probably get a copy very quickly.
And you? Olnick looking for you?
Bring the book out back to the carriage and we can all have a laugh. We can all have a laugh in here.
I see my part in this now.
Yes.
Wasn't quite clear. What exactly are you looking for?
I want to see if there's still some penises drawn in the book.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god.
12.
12. I'll tell you what. My wife and I are very tired. But come morning, if Polnick hasn't shut the library off completely, I'll take a look. Maybe I'll meet you somewhere. Where are you staying?
Fable's Repose.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do, although I will warn you, they don't always let people take things out of the rare tomes section.
Oh, I'm staying under an alias, so perhaps we should just meet in the main bar area of Fable's Repose.
Fair enough.
What time?
We'll say 1 o'clock, and if I'm still hungover then, I might be late.
Lovely.
Anything I can get for you?
No, Mr. Biggest, I'm not looking for any favours. I apologise for my rude conversation there with my friend. I was just debating something with him. I like you, Mr. Biggest. I think I have a story.
You
for
seem fine.
Not for tonight, maybe when neither of us have been drinking. I'd like to,
Something you'd like to say out of earshot of my wife?
What is he implying?
You said you liked him.
No, that's not what I
He's drunk.
He seems like he was kind of messing.
meant! Okay. And I'm gonna look right at his wife and go, no. Safira doesn't think this is funny at all.
They both kind of laugh.
No, a different kind of story.
That you don't want to tell me now?
Not at the moment at 1 o'clock in the morning when we're both drunk, no.
Okay, would you like to join us at Fable's Repose?
Yes, I would like to join you.
Lovely.
Perfect. Well, seems our journey's come to an end, and the carriage is pulling up near sort of the bridge. And you see Beezaura, Graven, and Orba sort of getting out of theirs.
Great.
What would you want to say?
I just want to do something before I leave the carriage.
Okay, sure. We'll come back in 1 second before you guys.
It's lovely sharing a ride with you. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yes. See what happens.
I'm gonna kind of do like a theatrical kind of curtsy because I'm a princess.
Sure. Make a performance check. Natural 1.
Yeah.
So you do it.
Falls out of the carriage.
You're also still in the carriage, so you kind of stand up and kind of hit your head and you give a sort of half.
Oh my god.
And Genevieve laughs at you. And Samuel says, "Wow, you might need this more than me." And he hands you another bottle of wine that he had stashed, unopened.
And I'm gonna blow both of them kisses.
Whatever. And he lets the two of you.
I hate you.
And their carriage continues over the bridge. So carriages are allowed in the city, but he's dropping you off here. Yeah. So the two of their carriage continues. And what did you want to do before you exit the carriage?
Turn back to Malta.
Sure.
Yes.
Since we're so close.
Are we?
I think so. We had a ride, adventure.
Some of that, yes.
Good question, since you know probably a lot about the people in this town.
Make it quick. I have to get back to Armand.
Understood? You know anything about Finbar Otto?
I do not. Is he from Tuktu?
It's from the Rose District.
Then I do not know him.
Never heard of him?
No.
Fine. Just thought I'd ask.
Enjoy any kind of.
Thank you!
Good night. And he kind of moves along. And theirs goes away. And you guys got a little bit, but you guys are a little bit behind them. You're all kind of around the same time. You were following fairly closely behind.
And now that the carriage is gone, we've resumed our... I'm a human now, right? Now that the orb is...
No, that dispelled the illusion completely.
Oh, it dispelled
yes,
it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are not dispelled.
And how far away from the Dancing Clam are we?
I mean, you're at the bridge to the city. You're probably 10, 15
We're all going
minute
back
walk
to the
to
clam.
Dancing Clam.
Yes, we should be very...
Can I kind of try to uncork the bottle of wine?
Sure, make an athletics check.
What? That's athletics
much better.
then,
What is your tolerance?
It's very high.
Yeah, how many bottles?
It would take a lot. 19.
19. I mean, you put it between your legs, and you kind of, boop, and it pops. Yeah, you're able to do it.
I'm just gonna drink.
How many drinks have you had?
This is my third large
That's
gulp of it.
not possible.
For the ride,
for the
not
ride.
for the evening.
Yes, for the whole evening.
For the whole evening, this was my fourth I probably didn't drink a full glass every one I chugged, so
Alright.
I'm not wasted.
We'll say
Buy a 4 glasses of wine.
Safira's like being a little cozy,
Yeah,
but she's
yeah.
So you
her
go.
faculties are.
I'm not
you're
out of it.
Yeah, sure. So you pop the wine.
Yeah, we
Here on the bridge.
We should make it back to the clam very discreetly.
Yeah.
Are there guards around?
I mean, you see some of the standard militia is standing at the gates, but no one's. I mean, it's their job to stand there. They're not like hyper looking for anyone. They're just standing there as they are.
Yeah, we need to, if we can, get back to our supplies and our armor.
Yes, and rest.
Yes.
Rest.
Shall we?
I'm gonna head back to Fable's Repose.
We'll see you in the morning.
See you tomorrow.
Are you going to meet us at the clam, or are you going to
No, I have business to take care of.
by yourself?
We'll see.
Business to take care of.
We're going to meet there at Fable's Repose in the
Far too
morning.
important for us.
Oh, we're going to Fable's Repose in the afternoon as
Oh,
well.
great, it's a party.
No, it's not a party.
temper
It's
that
business
enthusiasm.
for me.
Yes, I was being sarcastic, Beezaura.
Okay.
All right.
Can I kind of walk
Group's a
ahead
little
of them
touchy at this time of the evening.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying you're walking.
towards the dancing clam?
Yeah, like
Can I
across the
start
road. You guys
walking
know
up?
the way. You've been
Very aware of
Eyes out.
guards and.
I start walking towards.
Sure, make a
Fable's.
perception check. Yeah.
With advantage.
Do I?
Or, yeah, you guys
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
Because I'm walking in the
Sure,
opposite.
with advantage. We'll see.
Am I walking in the opposite direction?
7.
Well, no, for a little while.
Oh,
you put it
advantage,
together, You'll
huzzah.
split it somewhere. What is it?
With it, it was 22 now.
22. So, I mean, in the quiet of the night, there's less people around. The guards don't seem to be on any kind of high alert, as far as you can tell. There are guards around guarding the gates, as they do in shifts. But nobody notices you in particular. A couple of them nod on the way by as you enter. Just sort of...
I just realized I'm in a fancy dress going to the dancing clam.
You are wearing a fancy dress.
Fancy.
Yeah, he's in a fancy clothes.
Whatever.
I'm in my beautiful dress.
And you're here in the familiar streets of Erland. Sort of some hooded lanterns held over some people holding them, some over doorways, and just sort of a dull glow that matches the relative quiet of the night. And you guys make your way, and at a certain point, you know where the road is, and it splits in Beezaura.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Sweet
Night.
Good
tie.
night.
Is there a way I can kind of conceal this bottle of wine? Because I realize it's from the tasting. I don't really want anyone to know that I was coming from there.
Sure, yeah, it's a pretty flowy dress you've got. You can
Okay.
see it.
Yeah.
It's got pockets.
Layers.
You guys make your way back to the dancing hall.
Sorry, I just realized I had chocolate all over my hands.
Would you like to conceal it?
Like not no anything.
Boy, what's that chocolate on your hand?
Oh, my
Excuse me, why do you have chocolate on your hand?
So we're back at the clam?
Yeah, you're at the doorway to the time.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, there's no guards or anything anywhere. Okay.
Can I try to kind of avoid being seen? I want to go upstairs and change out of this.
Sure.
dress.
Are you guys all entering kind of together?
Yeah.
Make a stealth check, and you're sort of hanging into the back behind them.
20.
20, great. Yeah, I mean, you sort of behind Graven and Erland, there's enough sort of staying out of sight. As you walk in, there's the woman at the desk, and a couple patrons sort of having a late night meal or drink, but not a lot of people there.
Okay.
It's fairly easy to stay concealed.
Is Robert there?
Make an investigation check.
That's also what I would like to do.
13.
You take a look around. There's not a ton of room down here. It's fairly small. You take a moment to take a look, and you don't see him.
Okay.
And again, these rooms are all in Jillian's name. Like,
Yes.
our names aren't on anything
No.
here.
Who has the keys?
Who does have the
Do we
keys?
lock ourselves out of our room?
Someone.
Yeah, someone has
I
this.
don't know.
I never went upstairs. You went and shaved
You
your
and I
head and
stayed in
stuff.
a room, and then these two stayed.
Yeah.
I presume you have the key.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the room.
You guys. And the woman at the desk kind of recognizes you as you pass by and gives you a polite sort of nod.
Orba nods back.
Can we?
And you guys all head upstairs.
I'm not yet.
Sure.
Are they heading upstairs?
Yeah, I'm heading upstairs towards the room.
Oh, my armor.
Yeah.
Sure. And make your way back upstairs.
I'd like to say to the woman at the front desk, I need to speak to Robert Bastille immediately. Where can I find him?
Well, I think if you keep your head down, then you might find him.
Thank you. Which one of us has the basement pass? Great. So I'm gonna.
I have it. It's in mine.
That's something I redid together. That's the only reason I asked that. I think. All right, I'm gonna head upstairs to the room. Is Graven asleep already?
No, that took about 5 seconds.
Yeah. You come in, and I'm like,
Passed out naked on the bed.
Covered in his armor.
I guess as I go upstairs, I'm gonna change out of my stuff, get my
I realized that I left my clothes
Dead man.
at the Mollefaire.
Yes, you did.
thing.
Oh my god.
You don't have any standard clothes. Your armor's in the room, but you have a nice dress and a bunch of armor.
Crap.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Are you in the room with me?
Yeah, the two of you were
Do we
sharing
still
a room.
have that key with the guy that had his pants in his
That's what I was
trousers?
about to offer you.
Yeah.
Well, wait, shit. Actually, Erland might have it.
what? The what?
I need
Bertram's
to-
key.
I need the Bertram's key so that I can steal his clothes because I'm
Orba
not.
walks in.
No, I have it.
Saphira's
I have
super
it.
funny.
I have it.
Yeah, I'm like kind of drunk. I have the wine bottle down. And I'm like, fuck.
Your dress looks nice, by the way.
Thanks. The key for the cowardly, the one who pissed himself, you know
Oh,
what I'm talking about.
Bertram, Safira. Bertram.
Where is it?
Yes, I have it.
Can
Why
I
do
have
you
it?
need it?
I want his clothes.
Okay. And I hand it to her.
And I, just without any explanation, can I knock on the door for
Sure.
Bertram's?
You walk down to his room. You knock on the door. Who is it?
Oh boy.
oh my God.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay. Sure.
Prank call.
I'm so frustrated. I'm so
Poor guy.
frustrated.
It's like, ooh.
I come back into the room and I go, fuck, and I just hand her back the key.
What?
I need new clothes.
I thought that's what you just
No,
went through the
there's
room.
someone in there now.
Is it Bertram?
What is it?
Well, it's Orba just left standing in the room.
Wait, what is it? What if it is? Gonna call down the hall.
All the alcohol just hit Safira at once.
They really did.
Yeah.
Bertram?
Are you like at the door yelling it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And there's sort of a pause. Yeah.
Orba's peeking out.
Oh, you little shit!
Safira! What are you doing?
Someone said you wanted. You're not up here.
No, he's not.
I want. Can I bang on the door?
Yes, you can bang on the door.
It's too late, Safira, no.
It's late, isn't it?
Okay.
You can bang on the door.
Does he do anything?
You go up and
Yeah.
And he heard you say, "Oh, you little shit," so he doesn't open the door.
Give me the key. Give me back the key.
Are you going to beat them up?
No, I just want his fucking clothes. Give me the key. He nearly fucking killed us. I deserve his fucking clothes. Give me the key.
Okay, just stop yelling at me. Just stop yelling at me. And Orba just throws the key.
And can I put the
Sure, yeah, you go to the door. Let's go to the other room just for a second before we go to that.
First, I'm changing. I'm putting like my original sort of clothes back on.
Sure.
Putting my fancy clothes in my thing. Getting my staff. Getting all my stuff together. I need the key, the pass to the basement. I need to speak to Robert Bastille about Jillian.
Why are you whispering?
Because at this point in time, I don't know who's listening when.
Fair enough. Why do you need to go to the basement?
Because Robert Bastille is apparently in the basement, the lady at the front told me, and I want to ask him about Jillian.
About Jillian?
Yes.
Why would he know anything more than Armand knew?
Because I don't know. I don't know. He's. It seems like he's about to get out of here. I want to ask him about Jillian. I'm not going to obviously leave without you. I would die. Like I wouldn't leave her and Jillian without you.
I would not.
You're making me so proud. Do you mind if I come with you?
Only one person can go down with the basement pass.
All right. Well, if you learn anything, I'd love to hear it.
Yes, of course.
Get the pass out and hand it to you.
You?
Thank you.
What?
You're heading back down.
I'm gonna store it down. And I'm gonna.
Let's check in with Beezaura for a moment.
You're so full of shit, aren't you?
You
You
make your way back to
recognize
Tim's
that
Republic.
now.
And it seems to be a different person, possibly a manager there at the thing. It's a man. And so you make your way back. There's really no one in the lobby. Everyone's probably either asleep or at the Mollefaire Estate. So it's very, very empty. You make your way in.
Evening.
Good evening. Is there anything I can help you with this evening?
Not really.
And we head back. You looked at me like you wanted to do something. Was there something besides resting that you wanted to do?
I mean, before I went there,
Oh, sure.
I was going to just like take. How far is 31B from Tables Repose?
Ooh. It's probably 10 minutes. In the Rose District. 31B in the Rose District.
So I was like, should I scope it out at night or should I just?
That's the place with the burnt chest.
What?
That's the place with the burnt chest.
No, that's
No, that's
23, 21.
That's where
I have
Auto
to
is.
go.
Yeah, that's where Auto is.
Oh, sorry.
I don't really want to ask him anything, to
Okay,
be
sure.
honest.
Yeah.
But I want, like, I didn't know I was already there.
You don't have to be.
Okay.
That conversation, it's just in your mind. You heard this.
Sorry, I had a bigger agenda.
That's okay. Before you head there, what
Yeah, I just wanted to just take a quick look at it.
Sure.
Just so when I meet them, I know what I'm dealing with.
I mean, you make your way down. The street numbers are fairly easy to follow. You take a little walk.
It's not weird.
One or two people passes by you. It's late at night. They're holding. It's very dark. You don't have a lantern or anything. A couple
Right.
people pass you by with lanterns, but when they pass by, it's very, very dark.
It's just not safe.
You asking my opinion as the DM? As a friend.
I was trying to be bold and like go for it, but now that I can't see anything,
Yeah, I mean, as you make it there, it's very dark. It's the dark.
but I'm there.
Yeah, you make your way.
I can't see anything.
I mean, the house is, even for the area, the house seems very nice. It's got like a very nice iron wrought fence with sort of these horse designs that come up and make like sort of a gate in front. And the windows have sort of a nice kind of bay window kind of look to them. And all of the houses here are very nice, but this one stands out even a little bit. I mean, it's on a mansion, but it's nice. All the lights are off. There's no lights on at all. And there's a gate that doesn't allow you into the sort of front yard area.
Right. Looks like he's got a bit of money. Interesting. I shake the gate just a little just to feel the strength of it.
Sure. I mean, it seems very solid, and it seems like you could, with some effort, there's sort of a pole that sticks down into the ground. You could lift it and open it if you wanted to.
I'm not gonna do that for a second. Just
Like the gate is not locked. It looks heavy, but it's not locked.
Okay. Interesting.
And make a perception check too as you're sort of looking around. I'll say make it with disadvantage here in the nighttime.
It's dark.
Oof. So roll 2 and take the lower one.
Oh.
Well, that's smart.
Oh. That one would have been great. 4.
4. So, I mean, the only thing you're able to tell at this time of day is you see the gate, and there's a thick and sort of nicely oriented wall around the outside, but it's not terribly tall.
Right.
It's climbable. It doesn't appear to be keeping people out. It's decorative mostly, but it surrounds the property. It's the only thing you can really see at this time.
Is this district, is this area known as like the 31B? Like, I don't know, like, is this just a part of it? Just like a house number? Is like a certain like area of the Rose District?
I mean, the Rose District is
the Rose
Monmouth's
District.
district, yeah. So.
Okay.
You don't know about that address in particular.
Alright, then I make my way back.
Sure.
To the guy in front.
And then that conversation happened.
Yeah, right. Now we're back. Oh, I've been to the Fields of Rose.
I've never seen you before.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
How are you?
Excellent.
A lot of people staying here tonight?
Some. I believe many are over at the estate.
Yes. Just came from.
Oh, how was it?
Lively.
Oh, excellent.
Yes. Delicious wine.
Always is.
You've been?
No, I hear. My apologies.
Sorry. My first time.
Oh. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Much more pleasant than the woman that was here earlier, may I say?
Oh, I can pass that along if you like.
You can keep that to yourself.
I will.
You know a lot of people in the district.
Some of them, I suppose.
You from here?
I am.
Oh, very nice. You live around?
I live over in the high streets, not in the Rose District.
Are your friends here?
Some, yes.
Very nice. What do they usually do during the day?
I suppose depends what their job is, not someone in particular.
What day of the week is it?
You don't know, nor would it. There also isn't a standard like weekend. If that's what you're thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. People work pretty much every day. If they're poor, if they're rich, maybe they don't work.
Exactly.
Maybe they work no days.
Yeah, right. Everyone here is pretty well off, I'd say.
Rose District, fairly, yes. That's
Very nice. The houses. I took a little stroll earlier today.
the
See
architecture is
everything.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Is it quite old?
Yes, some of the buildings go back quite a long time.
Wow.
To the days of Emperor Pachaconic.
Interesting.
He had the Rose District constructed as a display of wealth.
Ah, makes sense. Well, guess I should get some rest.
How pleasant evening.
Thank you so much.
Zara makes her way up to her room. And we go back to Erland.
So I'm gonna make my way downstairs to the main.
Sure.
I'm gonna make myself my way downstairs and
And there you see over where you've seen before, there's kind of a gruff, unshaven guy kind of standing in front.
talk to him and give him the basement pass.
You take it without saying anything. He takes it. And he looks.
Wipe your feet.
You do. You wipe your feet. And there's sort of this thick doormat that he has you wipe it. And he kind of opens the door. And you walk down.
Yep.
And there's sort of a narrow stairwell that takes you down into the basement of the Dancing Clan. And the steps are very clean, and the passage is well lit. There's a number of lanterns, far better lit than the dancing clam itself. And as you reach the bottom floor, it opens up and into a quiet and very tastefully decorated sort of parlor area. And there's a couple of beautiful canvases on the wall. There's about 2 or 3 people lined up at a sort of center area where there's a podium, and there's a dwarven gentleman standing behind it at this kind of lectern. So there's like a couple people lined up to talk to this man. And behind the dwarven man at the lectern, there's a hallway that extends back maybe 25, 30 feet, it's hard to tell, before coming to a dead end. And on either side is a pair of doors. So there's 4 total. So behind this man, there's a little hallway.
Okay.
And then door left, door right, a little further, door left, door right. So there's 4 doors behind this man. And as you're sort of just coming down, someone is exiting one of the doors, and the dwarven man sort of gestures to the next person in line, and they go back, and they enter into one of the 4 doors.
So how many people are in line now ahead of this dwarf?
2 people, and then the man who just came out of the doors.
So I'm just gonna get in line.
Sure, you get in line.
Keeping my head down a little bit.
Sure, yeah. It seems like the other people are doing the same.
Great.
Sort of like generally not acknowledging each other.
Good. My kind of place.
And some time passes, probably another 10 minutes. Someone comes out, and they walk by, and the next person goes. And it seems to be one at a time. It's fairly slow. It's a slow operation.
Are they saying anything to the
You
dwarf?
hear a very quiet conversation. It's hard to, the first person that goes, you can't hear it, but as
Yeah.
the next person goes up, you can hear him talk, and he says,
What will you be having this evening?
and the man says something very quiet.
Yeah. Second door on the left.
And he walks back and enters the second door. And now you're the first person in line. And the dwarven man looks at you.
Yes, would you like to place your order ahead of time?
Yes, please.
Excellent. What can I get for you?
Do you have a menu?
I do, yes. Let me just look for a moment.
And he sort of peels out
Oh, wow.
a menu.
I hate this guy.
Pork chop.
Pork chop?
Definitely get the gumbo.
Some great aioli.
Panini.
What is that face?
We can move over.
Yeah, please.
Well,
give
yeah,
me
while
a
you take a
minute,
look.
a second.
Sorry.
He's digesting.
Alright,
move
I've
back
got
to
the key in the
Safira.
door.
Peeking out the door.
And I'm just gonna open the
You're
door.
gonna open it.
be
So
nice.
make an athletics check as you feel when you go to open it,
Oh.
him pulling on the other side of the door.
He's very brave.
Okay, it's 8. That's my athletics. Oh no.
Top.
9.
9. So as you go to pull on it, it opens a little bit, but then you hear it rattle and kind of closes.
I'm gonna try to pull it open again. Do I make another?
Sure, make another one.
12.
You go to pull it open again. You pull it open a little bit further, but then and it shuts, and you can hear kind of a as it seems like you might be.
Safira, why don't you just communicate instead of being all roughhousey? I know you can do it.
The door make a good bit of noise too as you kind of.
Bertram, look, I don't want to hurt you, I just want to borrow a pair of your trousers. I'm not laughing because I know it's a ridiculous situation. Bertram, if you open the door, you'll look at my face, you'll remember me. I'm not going to cause you any harm.
Is that meant to be funny?
No, I'm laughing because I'm drunk. I need your trousers.
You're drunk and you need my trousers.
Look, I don't have any trousers. I left my trousers somewhere else, so now I'm in need of a pair of... I'd be willing to throw you a silver for them.
Silver for a pair of trousers.
Yeah, and maybe a shirt of some kind as well. A shirt would be nice.
2 silver.
No, don't do that. He's trying to swindle you. Just say...
2 silver, you little twat. Please open the door.
Slide it under the door.
No, Bertram, my friend. You're going to open the door first.
No silver, no deal.
Little shit. I'm gonna take 2 silver and slide it across to him.
Sure. You slide it
Under the door.
Sure. Take it out and you kind of just sort of slide it.
Oh my god.
And you can hear him kind of scrape it off the floor.
I love that.
As he like takes a look at it. Because you can kind of hear on the other side.
Open the door now, Bertram.
So you want a pair of trousers and a shirt?
Yeah.
You can hear for a second it kind of like ruffling. And you hear as the door kind of opens. And he throws the trousers and the shirt
So
out
I
the
have
door.
the
You
I have
kinda
the
throw
stuff
it in your
now.
face. Yeah, he did give it to you. He gave a simple pair of trousers and a simple tunic.
Cheers, Bertram. You're a man of your word. And I'm just gonna stumble off back down the hall.
Sure.
I'm so proud of you. You were so nice.
I'm just gonna strip and like put on the trousers and the shirt and take the bottle of wine.
You guys have all retreated to rooms with the exception of Erland. Graven, anything on the dark mind?
No, I can't go after him. Can I? I don't know if that's. Nope. It's nighttime.
Alright. So you guys get into bed. And we are going to end for the evening.
My big fluffy bed.
Before Erland has a chance, he'll get a chance to look at the menu over this time.
Oh my god.
Figure out your order.
Oh my god.
So he'll have a chance to look over everything. That's where we're going to wrap it up for the evening, as everybody sleeps except for Erland. And we are going to be back in 2 weeks. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was great to have everybody. Great episode. Everybody made it out alive.
Yeah,
I know, I'm really shocked that
Avoided
it's scars.
fights.
For now.
Really nicely done, everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Oh my goodness,
for
thank
episode
you.
9.
Yay!
Episode 9 of Tabletop Notch. We'll be back with episode
July 28th.
July 28th.
Boom.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have
Good
a
night. Bye.
Bye.